How about now?
No.
Yeah, you do.
No.
Have to.
No.
Well, I'm showing it up on
Are
my.
you hearing me through your headphones?
Yeah, I'm hearing you fine.
Okay.
Um,
Try cranking up my my volume. See if you blast me out.
how about now?
Okay, yeah, there it is. It was
Oh,
just
you
low.
overcompensated because you didn't like the music.
Okay.
Okay. We have no technical problem.
But it's all fixed now. So.
All right. Let me get the disclaimer out of the way. All content presented in the Russ Clark Show, including statements made by guest commentators and callers, reflect the personal opinions of those individuals and is provided for informational and entertainment purposes only. These views do not represent the official position of Mortgage One Studios, its owners, employees, affiliates, or partners. Mortgage One Studio does not endorse, verify, or guarantee the accuracy, completeness, or reliability of any statements made by third parties during programming. You didn't like the headset after all?
It does pull you a little bit to the left, so. But you said you got the fix in mind already. So.
Well,
I only need it if somebody calls in, so I'll put it on.
We have extension cords.
Yep.
I just have one of them, and I found that I was more important than you.
You are. Absolutely. Yeah. Everyone knows that.
Wow. I never had anybody agree with that. Threw me off, man. And you had a hard time getting in. We have this huge conference table.
Yes, it is.
This is the conference table that came out of El Dorado.
Yeah.
And it came with the package, everything.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Derek got equipment, chairs.
Oh, it's packed.
It's just junk all over the place, and it's all going to be put to good use. But right now I'm dealing with this table. His initial intention was to have a carpenter come in and build something in here that custom fit where we
do it really nice.
Well, and I decided against nice. Nice that you mentioned that.
I like that you picked up on the direction I was going with that.
It's great that you mentioned that. We don't. I'm the opposite of nice right now.
You got some big plans for this big table.
I'm going to cut it.
It's going to be 2 tables.
Correct.
Yeah.
By the time I'm done, there'll be a small table, which I don't know what I'm going to do with yet. But I got enough material to cut this one, and so I'm going to make it. It's obviously very wide, and it's not rectangular by any means. At the middle, it's much wider than it is on the ends.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, rectangle when I get done with it. I'm gonna do away with that. We don't need that. And then I'll cut at least 3 feet off of it, and then redo the position the legs, and do all that. I've got a saw, man.
A saw.
A saw.
You might need more than a saw.
I don't know. It's pretty sharp. Pretty sharp. I got a hammer.
No, there you go. That's all you need.
Hammer saw and duct tape, and I got blue, and I got blue tape there too.
Oh, that makes it decorative.
No, it's to market where I'm going to cut it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
thought that was your finishing.
No. I'm gonna lay the tape on it and cut it. And I moved this credenza in behind me this morning, which made it much tighter.
Is that a credenza? I've heard the word before. I've never seen it in practice.
That's what they tell me.
That's what they tell you.
That's what they tell me. But I needed the storage space. I needed it. It's a little big itself. I was thinking about cutting out a little bit. Maybe it's
I referred to a dresser that my daughter was working on. I mentioned, for your bureau.
Okay, bureau.
And she was like, name. What is that?
Look it up.
Give her our language is being diminished, I think, with the internet.
Maybe, but I just text you to see if you were. I just text you to see if you were coming in, but I guess you were at the door.
I must have been, but I came in earlier than usual today.
Yes, you did. Yeah. I didn't know if I had to make accommodations because I had to move the desk for you to get in there.
Yeah.
And then warned you that getting out you need to have a friend.
Yeah.
It's just to get out of here. I printed a lot of stuff. I still on the
you
printer.
Always print a lot of stuff.
Well, it's on the printer though.
You
I'll get to it.
You got to reclaim this table to make save enough wood for all the printing that you do.
No. I don't print near as much. You realize we're at a mortgage company, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the mortgage company, I don't know how many printers are in here, but they got some printers in here that'll probably do 100 copies a minute.
Oh yeah.
I mean, a second. I don't know. But the amount of printing they do is phenomenal.
Oh, I'm sure.
Nothing.
Yeah.
They don't even notice me.
Oh, well, I remember when we bought our house, the stack of papers that we had to sign, and for each sale. Oh my goodness!
Right. Yeah, they do. I think that Derek invests in Forrest, actually, as he should. Have you been watching much about women in sports and all that with the Caitlin Clark and stuff?
It wasn't Caitlin Clark. Well, it was the WNBA. This Stephen A. Smith guy. I've heard about
Adam
him.
Smith. Yeah,
I don't know, but I've heard about him twice within a week.
Yeah, I like him,
and I've never heard about him before. But he commented that the WNBA is concerned about trans dudes in
trans dudes
sports. Yeah, I don't know. He's like, it's a really simple fix. Use biology, and there you go. And I'm sure he's catching heat for that. But.
Oh, he doesn't care. I mean, he's he's noted as speaking his mind. He's noted for what he does, and he's one of the highest paid, best positions to speak his mind.
Is he a broadcaster?
Yeah, on ESPN.
Okay.
And
I do not watch sports, so
I don't watch a lot of it anymore. I used to, but he's one that catches my ear because he's so he's fun to watch. He's aggressive, and he doesn't beat around the bush. He's straight, exactly. What he's thinking.
There you go.
You don't have to guess. Like, what did he mean by that? No.
But I find it interesting that we're giving him so much. He's getting interest here because he said, well, look at the biology. Boys are boys, girls are girls. And you ask a 5-year-old, and they'll say, well, boys are boys, girls are girls.
And according to some people on the left, they think that's because they need training.
Right.
They just don't understand. You get to pick.
Right.
Which you don't.
No.
But it's coming to light more and more, and I'm reading more articles on it. And there's a woman's sports media called GIST, G-I-S-T. I don't know what that stands for. Maybe girls in sports. I don't know. I don't know
what the T would be. That would make sense.
I have no idea. I don't know. But they're a podcast, but apparently tremendously large. They have like a million newsletters that go out.
Huh.
And 582,000 social media followers and a 40 million monthly social reach. So this is
a big deal.
This is a big deal. They're a big deal. The GIST. I didn't know who they were, but they follow basketball, particularly the WNBA.
Okay.
Is a big deal. So they've been outspoken pro-trans.
Which is weird to me, but okay.
Really weird. A girl named Ellen Hipslop and Steph Rhodes are the co-host and co-founders, that kind of stuff. They're big in it. And they don't hide. They said, at the GIST, we believe trans women are women, that trans athletes have the right to compete on teams consistent with their gender identity. And they've devoted a whole episode of their podcast one day to WNBA's debate over the transgender athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And they made clear they think the political and cultural controversies surrounding the league are worthy of media attention, should be talked about. And even as some fans prefer everyone just talk about basketball, they think it's important. Women's sports provides an opportunity to have critical conversations, and Hipslop repeated that and agreed and said that's happening off the court deserves attention too. When a public relations representative reached out to this people, and I think this was with Outkick, this guy with Outkick, that's going to write an article about what's going on,
right,
and wanted to include this organization, GIST, and these two hosts and co-hosts. They were all excited about it. They said he said he's never heard of GIST, really, and even though they're big like that. Associated Press says talks about him, does features on him. Axios cited GIST as one of the women's sports specific media companies benefited from increased female activities. Their own website says, beyond the highlights and view sports through a wider lens that accounts for their cultural impact. So they want to do more than just what's happening,
right,
in the paint. They want to talk about what's happening in the locker room.
I think it's going to be pronounced GIST.
GIST?
Yeah.
GIST?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to go with GIST?
Well, because I'm reading it.
You're the teacher.
I'm Googling it here, and it doesn't seem to be specifically about women's sports. They're talking about women's sports right now, but it's hosted by a guy named Mike Pesca.
I don't know, Mike.
Yeah, I don't.
The only
either.
ones I have here, Ellen Hipsog. That's
But it
HYS.
features interviews, commentary, and program analysis of politics and social issues.
Yeah. Well, it says if you go to their website, they'll talk that it's what goes on behind the scenes also.
Yeah.
That's what's important,
But,
according to these two,
yeah.
anyway. And one of them's a co-founder.
Right.
You say Gist?
Gist.
Gist.
Did you get the gist of that? So
Yeah,
that's how I'm
gist.
reading it.
All
But,
right. But anyway, so this guy on Outlook wanted to interview these two ladies and talk to them about it. So the agent was great with that. You know, the public relations from Gist was saying like, "Hey, man, it's great. We'll get that we'll get that going." So the guy started doing his homework a little bit, and what he did is he realized that they had episodes titled that they talked about why the NBA is stuck in a right-wing culture war, which he found interesting.
The NBA.
The WNBA.
Oh,
WNBA. Their own description says Hipsog and Rhodes discusses the controversy surrounding the trans women and trans athletes, and that the outlet characterized as the anti-trans comment that ignited the debate. They went hard after Cunningham, and it was a recent thing when Cunningham, which got clotheslined intentionally.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's caused a bunch of controversy because the Dijonais that actually was the perpetrator of the offense got flagged and sent home, and had to go to the locker room. And she wrote white supremacy.
Right. Yeah. White
privilege.
Yeah.
And of course, that just really stirs the pot. It really escalates the issues going on, which was maybe intentional, although she's getting a lot of heat.
Yeah. But it has nothing to do with clotheslining somebody on the basketball court.
Of course not.
No, just
that's
the reason.
Stuff. Oh, but these people at GIST, they were like, criticizing Cunningham for wanting to protect young girls and wants to not have biological men in, kind of like, and they think Dijonais thought she deserved. Dijonais is gay and pro-trans. So,
but it's not just about protecting girls. It's a women's sport. There's women that are working their entire lives to get there, to make it a career. And
that is protecting girls.
Put them out.
Protecting girls doesn't mean just physically, but protecting them in so that they can play a sport,
their future.
Right.
Yeah. And it's one thing for them to be talking about schools and so on and so on, because that's a government-run organization. This is a private organization. WNBA. They can set their own rules.
They do.
And if they say no, a chick is a chick and a dude is a dude,
but they're not. Period. The WNBA is embracing trans.
Yeah, and if I was in WNBA, I'd leave WNBA.
Well, they're not leaving. Clayton Clark's not leaving, and neither is Cunningham. They're just saying they don't agree with it.
Yeah, I think they.
I think it's funny what's going on now. I don't know if you've heard, but there's 2 pro NBA players that want to move.
I did.
Okay,
I heard that.
And
I think they miss out, get cut or something like that.
Yeah, they're not playing right now. They had like 10 years, but they still got a lot of good basketball left in them. Maybe not at that level, but at the WNBA level, they'd be a superstar, rock star.
I did hear about that.
So they became gay or trans. And
it's 2 separate things.
Yeah, they are. They're different. And I think they're heroes.
Yeah. Well, the same thing happens.
Because they're pointing out the absurdities.
Yeah.
I think they're heroes. I hope they get on. We'll see. I'd watch the game. It would be sad.
Well, it might turn into like a Harlem Globetrotter kind of thing.
It would. It would be silly. It would be silly, sad, and whatever. But these ladies really, at the GIST, just think it's trans rights and human rights, inclusion should be the default, and we'll work it out from here. And they said Cunningham position didn't actually care about women's sports, even though because she said it's only for women, so she doesn't care about women's sports.
Right. She's trying to make it
because
just for women.
Because you're not including trans as women, and they do.
If those guys do get into the WNBA, I think it would be really funny. Well, even just the debate, I think it's going to be funny to see the supporters of the whole trans thing trying to argue against it. What? you're going to tell me
They
what
did.
my gender is?
Oh, they did do that.
No, you can't do that.
People were saying, "Oh,
No.
you're making a mockery of it. How dare you say that about
Exactly.
me? How dare you?
I love that.
Because I came out.
Right.
I
love
can't
that.
believe you treat me like that."
Mhm.
So,
And they
so
can't
what's the
even-
left going to do?
They can't even say, well, you're going around acting like a guy over here. Well, I'm fluid. Sometimes I'm one, sometimes the other.
Yeah.
And you can't argue that because
They
opened
allow
up.
it. They said that's
they set that whole
acceptable.
thing up.
So now they're having to rewrite the program. Like, oh, how do we do? What do we do? They're probably panic a little bit, maybe.
I think it's
I
hilarious.
don't know. So this guy wants to interview these two women, and as he does more in research, he felt after all the research that he really is not going to agree with these two ladies. He felt like, wow, these guys are off a little bit. So he let the PR person know, gave him some simple questions he's going to ask to challenge them on their beliefs.
Right.
And lo and behold, the interview's called off.
You're kidding.
Nope, they don't want to talk about it.
Wow.
They don't want to talk about it. The PR person said, I think the distinction is really that we're approaching this from a broader, more positive lens, focused on the growth of women's sports and the visibility and scrutiny that comes with that, rather than the political culture war side of the conversation. Given your call out, this may not actually be a perfect fit for your beat, so I'd rather not force it. Sound like
we're going to run scared. That's what
yeah, it sounds like Kamala Harris wrote that, the word salad stuff. Except this guy argued, wait a minute. This is exactly a great fit for my beat and all that. And they wouldn't hear of it. So they're gonna run from it. And he really wanted to ask the questions. He really wanted to discuss it. And the guest representative wanted broader conversations. But then you go back and look at the guest website and they say, well, no, we think what goes on behind the scenes is important. We're a front for all of that stuff. And they are scattering and covering up fast. In fact, their next podcast came out with just talking about basketball, and then they put on their website, they said something about WNBA update focused strictly on basketball, hoops only, please. When before they were saying, no, we're about the culture. That's more important, even if the fans don't like it. So something changed. Maybe this guy from Outkick helped flip that switch.
Well, maybe they're realizing, we got a really ridiculous position that's impossible to
well, it's hard for them to defend it now.
It's impossible to defend
because for them to defend it, they're going to say okay to those NBA guys.
Yeah, and then you're going to have just secondary men's basketball team.
Well, you'd have to have more emergency room people on standby. Let's take a call from Andy. Good morning, Andy.
Well, if you're talking about Mr. Royce White, former NBA player.
Well, I don't know which one it was. Yeah.
He's the big heavy one.
Yeah.
He's running for the Senate. Or he has run for Minnesota a couple different times. He has a show on every Saturday morning on Real America's Voice from 6 to 7 a.m. our time.
Oh.
And he's doing this in protest. I rewatched it again. I mean, all in protest over the WNBA's policies of what they're going to accept. That's why he said, well, heck, 2028, I'm going to apply, just to see what they do.
Right.
He's just making a joke of them being, a joke is what they are, is what he said.
Well, I think he's a hero. I think he's great. I think he's trying to help women.
Yes.
Myself.
Well,
yes.
Yeah.
And, he's a God-fearing Christian. I love the guy's show every Saturday morning. He calls his show the Belly of the Beast because he's doing it in Minneapolis.
He looks like a beast, man. He's like 7 foot tall. Oh man.
But I like him because he's a good Christian, and he does what he thinks is right for everybody. And that's why he says, I'm astonished at the people of Minnesota when I tell them exactly what I'm not going to do, and they don't believe me. I'm not a Democrat. He says I'm a Republican, and I'm a strong Republican.
Wow, he may never got it.
He's still out there doing it. But God bless him. He manned up and made a bigger joke out of the NBA than they already did themselves.
Yeah.
WNBAs. He's a good man. But you catch your show on Real America's Voice from 6 to 7 our time on Saturday mornings, and he just speaks the truth, and I love him for it.
Oh, I don't know what they're going to do. The NBA has not come out with a direction yet, although they've had a lot of meetings on how to handle it. They can't come up a conclusion. Like they want to be they want to be so-called fair to the trans community, and at the same time not hurt people and not let the guys come in and actually destroy the
Well, let's just they. I look at it this way: make them do a blood test. Show me your DNA.
Yeah.
You're either a man or you're a woman.
Well, there's a few of them that are playing with the WNBA right now, like Griner. She'd probably be out at that point.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, she was the one that was arrested in Russia, and the Russians looked at her and put her in a men's prison.
Did they?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
But she was arrested in Russia for what? Drug possession?
Marijuana.
Yeah, she carried a vape with some THC stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not a very bright person, anyways. But
yeah,
if you're gonna go to another country, why, anyways? But especially Russia,
right?
But she had signed a contract with the Russian team, correct?
She was what now?
No,
she had signed a contract to play for a Russian team, if I'm not mistaken.
No, dude, she was playing for something overseas. I don't know if it was Russia or not, but it was European or Russian, or she had to play for against a Russian team or something. Because she played the Europe League during the off season of the women's league here in the United States.
I don't think I ever knew why she was going over there.
Although she was to play.
Yeah.
It was to play. So she was playing over there for some league. And apparently quite a few of them do that. The women's the WNBA, they don't make a ton of money. They're making like $80,000 a year or something. Of course, Caitlin makes millions, but not from the league. Her paycheck from the league's like $80,000.
Yeah.
She makes millions on Nike and stuff,
Oh, like I say, she's not very bright if she says, "Oh, I forgot." Well, I have a prescription from my doctor for it. And I'm going, they'll tell a doctor, I need this. Why do you need it? Well, because I don't have any.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's their excuse. We've always said that. These doctors that sign off on that, back when California first did it, you have to have a prescription. Well, look what it ended up being now. Everybody's got it. But you have to have a prescription to get the higher dosages that actually help people.
And I'm curious about that because a higher dosage compared to what it was in the 70s is just common.
Well, yeah, because they're allowing, the federal government is allowing them to manufacture under medical conditions.
Yeah, well,
the higher dosages, and I guess it's something to do with breeding and stuff like that and how they grow it. But I probably wouldn't be a very good farmer for that. I'd grow alfalfa.
Hey, you're sounding better today. You sound like you can breathe today for a little bit.
Well, I checked out yesterday. I told you don't pay the ransom. I'm going to escape the hospital again.
All right, escape them. There you go. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
That was Mr. Andy.
Yeah.
In fact, why he called, I think I got another call from Gilbert, I think.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
He'll call back.
I hung up on him. I can't take
Not the first time.
I don't have two lines. I can't take but one. I've hung up on him before. I think he times it. He waits till I have a phone call and then he calls me.
Hello.
Hey, Gilbert. Russ, how are you, man?
Hey, Russ, how you doing?
We're doing well, sir.
So, a little humor here.
Okay.
The women and the trans and the basketball, the women's. Well, they can get some trans women to go play for the Lakers since they were just bought for $12.5 million.
That's been pointed out many times that doesn't exist. The women becoming trans men and going over to the Lakers, that doesn't exist. I wonder why that is.
I don't know, but why not? But anyway, they just sold the Lakers for $12.5 billion. Josh Kushner and Bob Leaguer just bought the Lakers.
Wow. That's
top on
That's a
$5
big-
billion.
that's a big investment. That's more than all the teams combined in the WNBA.
Probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking at the humor. Well, I think I believe he was part of the Disney Foundation, that Josh Kushner. So you know how Disneyland has become. They have Pride Night, Pride Week,
Right.
Pride Month.
Yeah.
So he can have some-
Do you think actually that Caitlin Clark could play in a game in the NBA and make it look like she belongs?
She could
She's-
play.
Yeah,
How
I'm
she'll
sure
do.
she's not going to get paid as much, but I'm sure she's as good or better than the worst player
Possibly.
in the NBA. Yeah.
Possibly.
And I just Googled
Yeah.
real quick. The women can play in the NBA. There's no rule.
That's just to open.
Yeah,
It's open.
Yeah, anyone can play.
Now they're not as physical in the NBA, believe it or not. They don't allow the,
Not like they used to
the-
be.
not like the punching. They used to
Right.
have it.
Right.
The punching, kicking, pushing,
Street game kind of stuff.
street stuff.
Yeah.
They had to stop that. I mean,
Yeah.
too many people getting hurt, and so now they call the
Hey.
fouls. They don't call the fouls in the WNBA.
Hey, Russ,
she might
remember
get
all
in
the-
trouble if she joins the NBA.
Yeah.
all the great basketball players that were wearing goggles
Yeah.
because they're getting
Right.
poked in the eye.
Right.
Yeah, that was the NBA back in the day.
I think anybody that plays that Dejanay lady should wear goggles. I mean, she's very noted for poking people in the eye.
Is she?
Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah. She's a thug, man.
She is.
Yeah.
That was the coach said she was.
Yeah.
She said she's a very aggressive player. The coach for the Spurs or whatever the hell it's
Yeah, and but it's not always about basketball. It's about injuries too. She elbows, punches, clotheslines, gouges,
Yep.
sharpens
She
her
does-
fingernails. Apparently,
and she's
That's
proud
crazy.
of that.
yeah. Girls come
She's
back
proud.
with cuts on their arms, scratches and cuts on their arms all the time.
Really?
Her fingernails.
Wow.
So I'm wondering they
You
don't.
know-
I would think they would have a trimming requirement, but they don't.
You would think, but apparently her dad was a Charger.
Yeah,
He played for the Chargers.
yeah. That's what I understand. It was
Oh.
NFL. Yeah,
Yeah, and she was well to do. She was not a poor ghetto
no,
basketball player that
She's-
came up to the ghetto. No,
she
she
grew
was
up-
well financed.
yeah, and she had private schools and stuff, so she was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she did
so-
really well, but she came out as a street thug.
She's got that football
Yeah.
aggression.
I don't think they
apparently.
poke you in the eye in football.
Well, they can't. The helmet's in the way. But
Back
if they
in the day,
could,
they did.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day, the helmet slap? Deacon Jones was
Oh, yeah.
famous for his helmet
Oh,
slap.
yeah. Yeah, they stopped
He was-
all that.
Oh yeah. But yeah, he used to work out on a 110-pound punching bag.
Oh, really?
The head slaps. Yeah,
It-
for the
it
head
just-
slaps.
huh?
It could
Yeah,
get-
right in the ear.
yeah, and apparently it just really caused a lot of people hearing problems.
Wow.
Yep. But again, Lakers, California, throw some transgenders in there.
Mhm.
Why not? And while I'm at it, I want to remind people this Saturday, August 15th at 8 a.m., we are going to have Darren Simmons speaking to us at Izzy's Restaurant, 11375 South Foothills Boulevard. We want everybody to come out and ask those hard questions.
All right.
So one more thing. I read that article on Pedro.
Okay.
Hey,
And when have you ever seen the Yuma Daily Yuma Daily Sun ever project anything from a Republican that in the front page like that?
They don't. Not well. I'm sure they have, but I mean, I don't know.
I'd like to see when.
And you mean Carlos Adams on the front page?
Yes. So I'm really wondering where
And-
Carlos Adams stances on what political party is he with?
I
To
don't
me, that
know.
looks like a big Democratic front page issue.
Yeah, I don't know
That's
what he is.
my-
I see him like a Mandani type character. I mean, I always thought he was kind of like, man, this guy's like a community organizer. And the front page kind of confirms that. That's what he's doing right now, community organizing.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
Yep.
completely every right to do that. But,
Right.
uh,
This is America.
Yes,
We're
sir.
allowed to do that.
Absolutely.
And I see your buddy Franklin supports them.
No, Dennis, I don't doubt it. Dennis jumps on those things. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, anything to get his riverfront property going, right?
Well, we'll see if that ever goes.
I thought I'd throw it out there.
All
And
right.
again, don't forget this coming Saturday, August 15th, 8 a.m. in the morning. Come and check out Darren Simmons and ask those hard questions. You know, people complain and they wow. You got an opportunity to come and talk to Darren Simmons and get your point across.
Yeah.
He's our county supervisor. So anyway, we'll get you on the rebound. I got to do some work.
Thank you, buddy.
Later.
See you later,
All right,
bud.
bye-bye.
So I know Carlos Adams ran for the city
Mayor.
of Yuma mayor,
Right.
and didn't win.
Right. Well, he was a write-in. That's
Yeah. So
that
it's
would be
expected. So what's the issue with them now?
Oh, it's not an issue. It's just what he's doing. He's getting together an organization to ask questions about the city,
Okay.
like how to get information, how to do all that's wrong, and all that. And he's going to be, and he really didn't know. I mean, when I talked to him when he was
you've
running,
talked about that before.
he just didn't know much about what a mayor
Right.
does. And now he's wanting to train people. He wants to get together to share information.
Uh-huh.
I'm in favor of all that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And he had 40 people come together to do that. And I hope it's done in a positive instead of a negative. A lot of times that they get together because, we're not going to stand and we're going to fight back. And like, what are you fighting back? We don't know yet. We'll figure it out. We're going to find the problem.
And even if it starts that way,
Yeah.
as they investigate the issues and find out the information, if they either will, if there's a couple of ways they go. They could research everything, find out the truth, realize things are in good shape, and support them, or
Yeah.
they can find things that are actually a problem and bring them up, or they could continue being negative. Well, we're just gonna dislike you because we dislike you. So I hope it's one of the two.
Yeah.
One of those first two. They find good things, they find bad things, they bring both up to people's attention, and that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
It definitely can. I'm not against it all, but
No,
I was, my first reaction from Adams is like, he's a community organizer. He's not mayor. And that's what he's doing. He's a community organizer. Of course, that's what Mandani was.
Right.
And I think he
Well, that's
still
what
is.
Obama was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it's Mad Mike on the phone. Good
There we
morning.
go.
Morning, Mike.
Yeah, it is Mad Mike. I got distracted. I took the wrong exit off the freeway.
There's
I
only
thought,
like
I thought
two.
you were a professional driver.
I know. I that doesn't mean I'm not an old fart professional driver that gets distracted when you bring up topics on the radio that I like to get involved in. And it's not really a big deal because even if I got off on Foothills Boulevard, I would have had to come back west a little bit. So I'll be fine. So what prompted my call, though, not any controversy, but that's what I usually wait for you to get me going, and then I call in. But
Sorry.
I saw a billboard on the freeway as I was coming back out here
For
Circle K advertising fast diesel.
Yeah, I
What
saw
the
that.
heck? What is fast diesel? Or does
I
that
was
just mean
curious.
get in and get out fast?
My thought is because I've been wondering the same thing. I've been seeing that billboard for a little while now. Maybe the pump goes faster. It pumps faster than normal because those are big tanks. I can imagine it would take a while to fill
All you
them
have to do
up.
is change the filters. A lot of times they don't change filters very often, and what happens is it
They
slows
get
way
clogged
down.
up.
Oh, well, they slow down. They get debris in them, and they will say, "Well, it's not time to change yet. We'll wait till it gets real slow. Until it gets clogged up."
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
We haven't heard from your buddy that used to call in the trucker for a while. Maybe he hasn't found you on these
Well, when they
platforms.
say fast diesel, they're not meaning tractors. They don't want tractors in there. They don't have room for those.
No.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, they do.
Semi trucks.
Yeah, they do.
They can get in circles.
well, they can
Yes,
get
they
in,
do.
but it's not.
The new one
they
on
they are
Airbnb.
set up.
Yeah.
They are set up.
Oh, they are.
for-
Okay,
Yeah.
set up. Well, then that's fine.
Yes.
That's fine.
The one on Fortuna has a separate station. The
Uh-huh.
one on Arabi well, it's a corner of Arabi.
Oh, it's set
and
up for
32nd.
tractors. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It's set. You keep talking about tractors. I'm talking about
Semi-trailers.
semi-trucks.
Yeah.
That is a semi truck, is a tractor.
Tractor trailer.
Yeah.
But there's the big ones there's several locations of
Okay.
Circle K.
Yeah.
I say they
that
could technically
have-
go into a smaller one. I mean, there's trucks in there all the time because that's trucks that deliver their freight. It just wouldn't be
Yeah,
very easy.
No, yeah,
they're
especially
set
the one
up
on
for
Arabi
full-on.
would be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the one on north of the freeway Arabi, the one on south on
yeah.
the corner of. and it's the
32nd
same
and
one
Arabi.
on the Fortuna.
Okay.
They have a separate area specifically for semi trucks.
Well, that's good. And it's fast.
It's fast diesel.
So
I
it's-
don't know. Maybe some trucker listening in
yeah.
will call and tell us what fast is. I don't
Oh,
think. I think some of the ideas you guys have thrown out there sound good to me,
yeah.
but I'm wondering: is there a grade? Is there an octane / whatever for fast diesel? Me and Chris been noodling in it for
I
a
don't-
while. Hopefully, we'll find out. The
I don't
answer
think so.
One day.
I think
No.
Wow.
I don't think so.
We got the
I don't
great-
think there's a different grade. I think there's one grade.
Well, I'm going to ask him. I'm going to ask him now. Next
Go
time
ahead.
I need to get gas today, and it's 40 cents off per gallon day at Circle K. So anyone
Oh, well,
listening,
there you go.
if you've got your Circle K membership, gas up today on Thursday.
Are you serious? They do that every
40
Thursday?
cents off every Thursday?
No, once a month.
Oh,
I
okay.
think
Well,
it's
still,
usually the
that's a good
what
deal.
are we the third Thursday this month? That's usually.
Well, it's not going to
It-
be
you just gotta
fast
pay
today.
Because we got a big
Oh, yeah.
tank.
It's going to be a line. I mean, there'll be a line, you know.
No, Russ. It really is not bad. I used to think that too, but no, there's not enough people really realize it, and
Oh.
even the ones that do, you've got all day long, and I just filled up. I didn't remember. I didn't pay attention. I just filled up the Highlander yesterday, but I've been putting miles on the
Wow.
Prius this morning, so I'll go fill that up before Gladys goes to work and sees I've been burning her gas. One delivery, I thought it was out. I thought I had two coming out here to Foothills, but no, the first one was freaking all the way out to Somerton. I was out on
Oh.
county blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and that's when I drove by and I saw the flag and I thought, I should go see Russ today. But you guys were having too much fun. I was enjoying listening.
All right. Be
So
good, man.
I will. I'll catch you another day. Be
All right.
good or
See you later, bud.
Yeah, take care.
good at it.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Mr. Mike this morning. He was thinking about coming in here this morning. That's why I text you to say,
All right.
Mike said he wanted to come in and join, sit down or something. I said, well, always
Well,
welcome.
there's room at the table.
Yeah, if you can get around
Yeah.
it. I won't cut it till this weekend. So
Might be easier to actually crawl underneath it. It's pretty hot space.
Yeah, you mentioned the fire code. I don't know.
Well, I didn't mention it on air. Now we're
No,
gonna
you
have
mentioned
somebody
a fire
banging
code.
down the door here.
I don't think we're in problem. Yeah. I think you could take that table up and throw it if you had to real quick.
Be like a Real
Get-
Housewives
Getting
thing.
out of here. Yeah, I'm getting out of here. I don't think you're blocked in. Back door's open. Actually, that back door's not usually open.
Right.
But you can open it if you take the time. But when there's a fire, people don't look. They panic.
Yeah, that's why doors are supposed to open out. Because
legally, yeah.
And we went someplace and it was somewhere in the States. I forget where it was, but I'm walking out and I push on the door and it didn't open. I was like, and I had to pull the door open. It was the strangest feeling, actually pulling it open to get out. I was like, this is weird.
You can't make them that way anymore.
Yeah.
There's some places still like that.
It must have been an old building that was already
Maybe.
grandfathered
I'm
in.
surprised they don't make them fix it
Reset it. Yeah.
because it's confusing.
Yeah. I feel like it was in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
An old gas station, just and so who cares?
Yeah.
It's way out there. Nobody cares. So.
Nobody's ever down
Yeah.
there. Speaking of Mandani, he's fighting Amazon right now.
No, he's fighting everybody. So.
He's
Amazon is like the epitome of capitalism. So yeah, if he's gonna fight anybody, he's gonna.
but
fight
Amazon is huge
Yeah.
in New York.
Well, it's huge.
It's like
period.
what is it, 8 million people or something,
Yeah.
isn't it? New York City. I mean, he has more than most states, or a lot of states anyway. 8 million people. What do we have in Arizona? Like about 9?
I don't know.
We have about New York City size
Yeah, I'm sure.
population. Well, there's a new legislation that's coming out, so he's throwing his support behind it, and the Teamsters support this. It's called the Delivery Protection Act, and it's going to bar companies from subcontracting core warehouse and delivery work at last mile facilities. Like right now, Amazon works like hub and spoke stuff,
Right.
and a lot of times locally they'll have subcontractors take it to last mile.
I've seen people in like personal vehicles,
all
driving
kinds
up
of stuff.
Yeah.
Here locally in Yuma, we now have a warehouse that delivers.
Yep.
It's the
On
end.
40.
It's the end of the spoke.
Right.
The merchandise comes in here and dropped off, and then they take it to the household. It used to be all kinds of people, FedEx or UPS, all kinds of stuff would deliver. Now it's mostly Amazon drivers themselves. Well, legislation right now, and Teamsters are supporting it, that the Delivery Protection Act, it would have to be Amazon drivers.
Yeah.
They want to make it corporations like Amazon that built billion-dollar business models by insulating themselves from accountability through a system of exploitive subcontracting, according to the mayor. That's the way the mayor puts it.
There's another way to deal with that besides forcing companies to do it the way you want to do it.
Well, that's up to the business.
Yeah.
I mean, if the local drivers do a crappy job, then Amazon's going to lose customers. They're not going to do that.
Right.
They're not going to do that. They're doing it because there's some companies out there that make perfect sense. But he's down on the corporations,
And of course, Teamsters are going to be against it because
they want
That's
to
their
unionize.
Yeah.
Can't unionize all these little bitty places. The bill's called a common sense regulation that protects delivery workers, safeguards the communities where these facilities operate, and ensure that the corporations benefiting from workers' labors are responsible for the consequences of their business practices. Well, that already exists within these smaller businesses. They are still responsible.
Well, and anytime somebody throws out, it's a common sense, legislation,
you think
you're just trying to hide something.
well,
No.
generally, but I still hear like in the WNBA, it's just common sense not to let men play in the WNBA.
Yeah, I
so
guess.
there it works. I think they use it where it doesn't work.
Yeah.
All the time. Well, the legislation, according to an independent study, said it would force an extra $664 per year on each household.
Not in my household. I don't buy anything.
A
online.
lot of people do. And that's according to a consultant.
Yeah.
That's 664 per household. And that's like times how many millions of
lot,
households. That would be tons more money because they would have to set up, and there would be a ton more taxes being paid by these Amazon people,
Right.
and they'd have to pay the workers more.
Well,
possibly.
the deliveries are still happening. They're just saying instead of the small, little mom and pop company
Right.
taking the last couple,
They would have to go
miles,
into one big
They'd
mess.
have to do it
Said
more
they-
corporally. But yeah, when the little mom and pop delivery shows up and there's something wrong with it, nobody complains to them. They complain to Amazon.
Well, it is Amazon's responsibility.
Yeah. And so I don't understand, they're not hiding, they're not shielding themselves from any of the
No.
effects of bad delivery
No.
because they're the ones that are getting the call for the bad delivery.
Steve Smith, who works for the Business
It's
Council of New York State spokesperson, said the law is going to raise prices for consumers.
Yeah.
And Amazon right now works with 40 separate delivery service partners, what they call them. Those business partners, those delivery partners employ over 5,000 people
Yeah.
in New York City.
The free market takes
five-
care of itself.
5,000 people in New York City. And they said, look, this legislation would prompt them to move the delivery operation outside the city. In other words, those that pay city taxes, work in the city, live in
Right.
the city,
It'd be outside the city.
it'd be outside the city. They would probably put it over in New Jersey.
Well, that New York is
Expensive.
chasing everyone out anyway.
Yeah. So to be able to operate there would be hugely more expensive. They would just
Yeah.
move it outside the city, is what Amazon says. If we had to do that, because it would look how big a place that would be. It would be a
Right.
place where 5,000 drivers go in and out of, it's going to be,
And can in New York City where people don't even own cars because you can't move.
And it would raise a lot of money because it'd be more money for them to do all of that stuff. Kelly Mantel, she's Amazon spokeswoman, says we're committed to creating good jobs, supporting our thousands of employees and local small business partners in New York City, and providing fast, reliable delivery for New Yorkers. But as written, this legislation would directly undermine that commitment, threatening the small businesses that deliver to customers, putting the jobs of more than 5,000 of their employees at risk, and forcing us to consider relocating delivery operations outside the city. The Delivery Protection Act would put more than 5,000 contractor jobs at risk, according to Christopher Sadowski for the New York Post. Well, they looked at these drivers. New York delivery drivers, apparently 82% of the last minute delivery workforce does not have a college degree.
Okay.
84% are not white
Okay.
when they live in the city, I guess. And those are the jobs that are going to be lost.
Right. Well, and I've seen them here in Yuma. People, they'll drive up in their personal vehicle, and I'm like, who's this?
I don't see that.
I don't know that person.
Yeah.
And then they get out with a package
and
they drop it off, take a picture, and go. And those are people that are hustling. They're trying to make it in. They're looking around at their options. They're saying, this is something that's going to work for me. Why would anybody want to take it away? Especially, somebody that's trying to say, oh, we're for the people. We're backing up the people. No, the people need this. The people want this.
Yeah.
And you're trying to take it away from them. And, and we're sitting here being opposed to this, not because it's a Democrat or a socialist that put it up, but because it makes no sense. We're talking about actual factual things that we can reference.
And of course, it's New York City. It doesn't really affect us, but it does affect the country.
Yeah.
It does affect our common sense as we move forward. He says it is common sense to do it. No, it's not. It's the opposite of that. Yeah. Rudy Cazares, he's one of the small businesses. He said he employs 130 people and hires more during peak times, holidays. His drivers start at $23.75 an hour. More experienced drivers earn as much as $27 an hour. And he's W-2 employees, they're full-time and part-time with benefits, banner pay, and payroll taxes. Yeah. They control the sorting of packages. They stage them for us. We pick them up and we go deliver them. There's no dialogue that includes a small business that are the ones making this happen. So he would just have to close.
Right. Exactly.
He says, and he's close to it, a small business guy close to it. If they moved into his big warehouse in New Jersey, it would be, 10,000 employees and it'd be tougher. It'll happen, but Amazon will charge a lot more money. They'll have to bump it up.
Yeah. They'd have to, and that's probably where the extra cost is they'd have to be so far out. They'd have to have a lot more drivers because every delivery would have to start from way over there and go all the way into the city, rather than being able to bring all of them in, drop them in the middle of the city, and then have little guys.
And have a local guy that knows the neighborhoods, knows everything to be able to deliver. Matt McQuaid is a spokesman for the Teamsters Union. Now, the Teamsters Union is all for this because they could unionize it. Yeah.
And that's probably what they're going to say. No, you can do this as long as you unionize. We can.
It's hard for them to get all those little businesses because the second you unionize them, they just go out of business. Yeah. They're like, I can't make it anymore. I can't afford to pay them $50 an hour or $35 an hour and then have union meetings and angry employees all the time, But Matt says Amazon will say or do whatever it takes to deny workers stronger rights and wages and to advocate its responsibilities for its own employees, which is why journalists are obligated to expose these greedy corporate tactics and not serve as stenographers for the company's anti-worker propaganda. That, of course, he works for the Teamsters. He's a Teamster spokesperson, which makes his money on being big labor.
Right.
They're big labor.
Yeah.
And they want their cut. It's kind of like
labor's
protection money.
Labor unions are just, there are benefits to them.
Used to be.
Well, if they went away, would we go back to the way things were before them?
Of course not. We've got too
I
many
don't know.
laws in place.
That's the thing.
We didn't used to.
Yeah.
We didn't used to.
Yeah.
And the marketplace is different when we got social media and everything else out there. If there's a
Well-
business out there it's being crappy, everybody's going to know about it and they're going to flock.
Well,
to,
Arizona is proof that we don't need it because
we
we
don't
don't we don't require it, and
Oh,
and we're functioning
there's
just fine.
lots
And
of
we're getting industry coming in.
Yeah.
And people are making a good living.
the industry comes
supporting
in
their
partially
families
because we are right.
because
to
we
work.
don't have it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I hear about people like in the teachers union. I'm like, why? Why are you in the union? You don't need to be. Why are you paying dues to something you don't need? Oh, I believe in what they stand for. They don't.
I stand for a lot of
anything.
good things too. Give me
Yeah.
money. Well, of course, the union is going to say that. Do you think the union really cares that's going to be bad for New York?
No.
They
It's
care
gonna be
about
good
it's
for
going to be
them.
good for Teamsters.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's bad for New York. I don't care if every family in New York has to pay an extra $600 and some because these Teamster guys are going to make the money. They're going to say, well, I need the money.
Yep.
Yeah, give it to me. I'm in with it.
And as a worker in a union, I'd be wondering why the leader of the union for my workers is making a crap load of money. Because they are the president of Teamsters. He's rolling in a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how you could justify that.
He doesn't have
You're supposed to be supporting me, and I'm barely making by.
Mhm.
And you're taking my dues and
the marketplace
and living
takes
like
care of
that.
itself.
Yes.
And when the Teamsters are needed and stuff like that, people join. But we've got laws in states right now that says you have no choice. You have to join.
Yep.
If you work for this business, you have to join the union. Now, state of Arizona has right to work laws. Says
You don't.
you don't have to join a union.
All right.
You
You can work.
you can work. Now, unions still exist in Arizona. They do. The YPG has a union, but you don't have to join it.
Right.
The
The teachers have unions.
teachers have a union. You don't have to join it.
No. Now I will say, because I'm involved with the welding industry through the college, and the welding union. A kid can join. They're guaranteed a decent wage, and then they train you in welding while you're working, while you're earning that money. And after a certain period of time, you prove your skills. They give you, you're guaranteed a raise, and you can continue growing through the organization. But this is a skilled labor model from way back when they had apprentices and the journeyman, apprentice, master, and they still follow that progression, and they still have the same idea of let's get people into this industry, teach them how to do it, build them up, and make them stronger. And I love that. They're not trying to manipulate the world and the laws in their benefit. They're helping out their workers. And I think they're doing a fantastic job. But, like the teachers union, they're trying to change everything for everybody, whether you're a teacher or not. They're trying to set things up the way they want it because they can, because they have the power. And so, there are unions out there that I think can be run great and do a good benefit for the community.
Then they'll
And
exist if they're doing
yeah.
benefit. They'll exist. Let's take hey, Mad Mike, what's up?
State your source of the union out of YPG that you quote unquote don't have to join.
The union president named Tom, Tom's friend, but he just left. He just retired. But I heard they didn't have to join, but maybe I was wrong. Why?
Well, because when I worked out there, I wasn't a civilian. I was contractor. And so we didn't have union representation. But my understanding is all those civilian jobs are union, and they have shop stewards, and they, that's all big government Dumbo crap. Almost said the S word and caught myself.
Right.
They want, more members, more dues, more control, more dues to spend on election fraud and blah blah blah. I honestly think you're mistaken in assuming that you don't.
Well, I'm gonna have to check with Tom.
Well, and like you said, there's different kind of workers out there. There's contracted workers. There's
Oh, yeah.
government workers. It might be that
There's-
one group
yeah.
has to, the other group doesn't. No, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's
no, I'm
retired, but he's still
specifically-
around.
I'm still specifically thinking about and curious about the United States government civilian employees. They're not in the service. They're not Army employees. There's plenty of them, but there are civilian employees that work for the federal government. And my understanding is that that is very heavily unionized.
All
Could
right.
be.
But and if you do find out, text me, Russ, because I'm in and out of the car. I
All
might
right.
not be able to listen.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Time
you,
to get
sir.
the little one up and ready for school.
Thank you, man. Bye bye.
See you later, bud.
I'm gonna have to. I'm texting Tom right now. Tom Simmons. I'm asking if they have to join because I always understood they did not.
And it might be. It could be that federal employees are under
don't
different
know.
rules
I don't
than
know.
otherwise, but
Yeah, maybe they do if they're a state of Arizona. I'll find out. The listener sent me some stuff on Mike Lindell. Now, Mike Lindell ran for the governor in Minnesota.
okay.
Primary was over on Tuesday. He lost,
hmm
and he refuses to concede.
Ah. So was he running against Walsh?
Oh, no. This was a Republican.
Okay.
In fact, the lady was I think she was speaker for the state house. But
The lady that won the primary?
won.
Okay.
She won by 11. She Lisa DeMuth. She won by 11 percentage points and
That's hard to
45,000 votes.
argue.
So whether he concedes or not, I don't care.
Right.
What difference does it make?
You don't have to.
There's 265,000 votes left to count. He says, Mike says, I'm down by 18%. I'm not going, or 18,000 votes. I'm not going to give up the race until the votes are counted.
Well,
So I
yeah,
don't care.
That's fine. Yeah.
I don't know why
'Cause
that's
that could make a
controversial
difference, yeah.
that he waits till the last, till it's mathematically unobtainable.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think that's the case yet. It's not unobtainable. It's
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, but it would be a long shot, I would think. But
Well,
I don't know.
years ago they had that presidential that the newspapers called wrong in the morning, put out the papers. Dewey won.
Yeah, it's famous.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty famous.
And oops, he
Yeah,
didn't. It
yeah.
happens, So yeah, don't concede until you know.
Yeah, I don't know why it's a big deal.
And who cares if you don't concede?
And as far as Lisa
It's not required.
DeMuth, she doesn't even mention it in this
Yeah.
article. She's just like, well, people have
She's-
spoken. They voted against fraud and corruption. She didn't
Ooh,
mention.
that was a nasty primary then.
No, not against Mike Lindell, against the state.
Oh, okay.
Mike,
Okay.
she's taking over for Tim Walz, who she
Right.
wants. Yeah, she wants.
Well,
to-
in the primary though, she's running against.
yeah,
the
well,
other
she figures it's
Republican.
over. Like
Okay.
people have spoken. Now we're going after that.
Okay.
Let's talk Gilbert. Morning, Gilbert.
Hey, Gilbert. Again?
Well, I started YPG in 1978,
Okay.
and we were under the Service Contract Act, and that's how they were able to cut wages as far as civil service versus contractors.
Okay.
And we did get a union. I believe it was Dine Electron or DynCorp, one of the two. We were under the IAM for a long time. So when I left YPG, we were under a union contract.
Oh, you were, and
I
you
moved-
had to join.
No, didn't have to
Okay.
join.
Oh,
but
You were contracted though. You weren't a government
I was a
employee.
contractor.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I wasn't a government employee. But we still had to represent the non-union workers. If they had to go to litigation, the IAM did support them and,
Right.
and worked with them, whatever it was at. So
All right.
there was a union out there, and there still is a union out there. I don't know whether it's the IAM still, but yeah, there was. And we needed it because we were handling, let's say, there are people handling ammo, but they weren't called ammo handlers. They were called electronic engineers.
Hmm.
1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
So the wages were like $5-6 less than civil service worker.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's how they got. And again, that's how the contract was billed as electronic engineers. Now, I was on the trades, so when I first got there, they had me under prevailing wages because there's a difference between. Shoot, I got a brain fart just now. Prevailing wages were like $5 more an hour if you were working as a painting contractor there. And so we did win, and my wages went up. So that's the reason they had the union there.
Okay. All right. Thank you, buddy.
Mhm.
Take care.
That was Gilbert.
Yep.
I typed in fast diesel because the question comes up if fast diesel is it a type of diesel gas, and it just says fast diesel is a high performance diesel vehicles,
Yeah.
but doesn't say anything about having a different.
Right. I think this isn't
different diesel grade.
Right.
Like in regular gasoline, you've got different grades.
I did it too, and it came up with a fast FASS diesel.
Yeah.
But not fast diesel. And I think it's just the way they're marketing right now. I don't think it's an official name for something.
Yeah, so it's not.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the fast diesel, FASS diesel.
You haven't done the interstate out to the foothills.
It's fuel separation systems, diesel lift pumps, I guess. They're in luxury cars like Porsches and stuff like that. Ford Power Strokes even has a fast diesel. I'll have to ask Chris. Chris is my diesel expert.
Oh, yeah.
Moorhead.
Well, he's an automotive expert.
So he turns wrenches. He knows what he's doing with the fast diesel. But I've never heard of a different grade of diesel.
Yeah, I think it's probably just they have stronger pumps that can pump the gas faster.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine how long it would take to fill up? Because they've got hundreds of gallons of tank
for a tractor trailer.
Yeah.
I used to do that for a living. I worked in a distribution center. And when I was in Delaware, it was in Harrington, Delaware, a place called Burris Foods. But part of my jobs at times, and I floated around. I did a lot of different things, but I'd help out in the yard and fuel trucks up and park them. And I spent more time in reverse than forward, though.
Not because you needed to. You just like driving.
No. I needed to.
Okay.
It was, we were a tight yard, not easy to get in and out of, and our yard truck was a single axle, which was a lot easier to turn, and it was a gas. It had a lot of torque. It was just the way it was geared and everything. It was geared for the yard, and it had a hydraulic fifth wheel. In other words, when you connect to the tractor, you don't get out and crank the landing gear up. You just pull the PTO, and the fifth wheel raises, pulls the landing gear off the ground, drive it around, back it up, and then lower it back down. Pretty simple stuff.
There you go. Even you could do it.
I could, even I could do it. But if you back up all day long, you get better at it.
Right.
So a lot of the tractor trailer drivers who spend 99% of their time going straight,
forward,
they go forward, and you get them into those tight yards, and sometimes they're a little bit tough to get them in. I was 19.
Yeah.
I'd just run out and say, "You want me to put that in for you?" Now, I found out that that's an insult to a driver.
Well, I can see that. There's my job, kid.
Get out of here. You're not touching my truck. Yeah. So you just sit and watch him do it 2 or 3 times, cuss, get out and kick a tire and do all kinds of stuff. And he finally says, "All right, you think you're smarter than me? Go ahead and get it." It has nothing to do with that.
Right.
It's
my job.
So I do it every day.
Yeah.
And so I'd put it right back in, and he would show no gratitude. Maybe it's grumpy being on the road all day.
It could be. I can imagine that.
I don't know.
Well, and
but I
learned
learned so much doing that job. How to handle myself more politically correct and do it and try to approach it.
Skill. Yeah.
Approach it in such a way that it was non-offensive.
Right.
Which I never meant to be. offensive, but I found out that they took it.
And how people, it's easy to say, well, no, that's not how I meant it. You took it that way. That's on you. But
Yeah.
if we understand that people are people and they're going to take it one way or another, you can start learning. Well, maybe if I say it this way instead of that way, it's less likely. So, and especially with the way things are, everything's being communicated by text these days. You can type something up, have absolutely no intention of being sarcastic or cruel or mean or anything like that, and then they read it, and in their head, they use a vocal intonation that says, "Oh, what are you saying that to me?" And it turns into a thing. It just
there's some people predestined.
Yeah.
Like they think there's going to be something nasty said, so they read into it.
Yeah, and and I'm the kind of guy. When I speak, I say what I mean. When I text, I say what I mean.
Oh, some people.
And if you're reading something into it, you don't know me, because I say, if I wanted to be nasty to you, I would be nasty to you. And if I'm not being nasty to you, obviously, then I'm not being nasty.
That happens to me, Chris, all the time.
I'm sure.
People read into it,
Yep.
Stuff. And even, in a relationship with your wife.
Oh, yeah.
And since Helen and I were married later in life, I've only been married a little over 2 years. Our methodologies, the word usage and everything it can have slightly different meanings and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm abrupt at times. I'm pretty direct.
Yeah.
Like you, I'm direct. And that can be taken caustically.
Yeah.
At times.
Yeah, my wife
I
and
just
I
need to understand that.
We came from completely different cultures, and she's Hispanic from this area. I grew up
even
all
a
over the
different
place,
language.
Yeah. And that has been a thing. I'll use a word she doesn't even recognize, and she's like, "Well, what's that mean?" I was like, "Well, it means such and such." Oh, okay. So it just takes a moment to step back and clarify, and then, oh, okay, and move on. And if I am being nasty, then call me on it, and and I'll stop doing that. But
See, and I'm very direct, so
Yeah.
I kind of look for people to be more direct. Tell me what you think.
yeah,
Versus
I'd rather that.
trying to gives nuance or something about, well, it'd be nice if something went, like a little differently or something like, well, like what, what, and I just dragging that out.
My just get to the point. Tell me what my granddaughter, we were talking about something, and we were having a conversation in the car, so the whole car could hear it, right, because it's on the speakerphone. And my wife said, "Well, you can come home and do such and such." And okay. So I finished the call. I said, "All right, well, I got to go home." And my granddaughter's like, "No, you don't." She said, "You can."
Oh,
I was like,
she was critically listening.
yeah. I was like, well, there's
you
the
knew.
option that you get from the word "can," but the context and the conversation person,
it doesn't
you
really
can't.
the decision doesn't really exist.
Sometimes people say things one way, but they really mean something else.
She was being polite and not.
She wasn't ordering me to come home, but she
But
was
yet
telling
it
me
was.
I needed to come home.
And there's no excuse not to.
Yeah. And it just cracked me up how she's already set to be
Wow.
That's what you said, so that's what I'm going by.
I see.
And yeah, not everyone speaks that
And
way.
now I got a problem in my first marriage where I wanted to buy a motorcycle, and I thought it made sense. You know how you do it.
Right.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
So I brought home a brochure and I showed it to my wife. And I said something about, I'd like to, I think we should get this motorcycle or whatever. I mentioned all the positives,
Right.
Like I'd be happy. Well, see, she kind of put her hands on her hips and says, well, if you feel you need to buy a motorcycle, you go right ahead. So I did.
Okay. That couldn't possibly have turned out badly.
Well, it did. I found out.
She said you
well, apparently I'm too literal. Like Ketanji Brown, on the new Supreme Court.
Yeah.
She said, why are you guys so literal? You're too literal. I didn't take the nuance.
Right.
Maybe I didn't want to take the nuance.
That could have been the problem.
I don't know. Maybe I should have understood. But that wasn't direct. It was kind of indirect. But being more aware, I would have understood.
She didn't want me to.
She didn't want me to do it.
Yeah.
She was saying yes, and her body was saying no.
Right.
And I was supposed to know that.
You are supposed to know that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do a better job now of trying to understand that. Communications. That's my thing, communications.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just verbal. You got to pay attention to all of it. But I guess we pick and choose what we want to pay attention to. I said, well, you told me to buy it. But it worked out all right. You know, she'd get on the back of it and we go to the beach.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Went to the beach on the motorcycle. It wasn't the best for that because it was a smaller, like a 400cc.
Okay.
Honda, you know, so it wasn't a road warrior that, you know, you could ride a few hundred miles and still walk correctly. It wasn't. It was more of like a round town scooter, you know, than it was. But we were young. We'd take it to the beach. It doesn't matter.
And that's what you're supposed to do when you're young. Have a good time, try things out, you know.
Yeah. Harvard, and you know, they come in the news quite a bit, you know, anymore. Harvard, I think they're the ones that have the endowment, like $50 billion or something. They have more money than most countries.
Right.
You know, Harvard does, and yet we still pay them.
Right.
The government does.
Yeah. Well,
a lot of grants and research. And
I thought Trump had cut that out because of the DEI thing.
I don't know how much they cut out. I don't know. But you're right. I think there has been some efforts to retract federal funding from some colleges that are promoting stuff that's not good for the country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can do it, just don't get federal money.
Right. Exactly.
You know? Yeah. Well, now looking into Harvard and the House Select Committee on Chinese Communist Party is looking into Harvard, that Harvard has ties to Beijing and working with Beijing's military and defense industry base, making them more intelligent.
Well, no, I don't know if that happens at Harvard, but
intelligence on things militarily that probably could cause problems. Well, Harvard, according to them, they said that Harvard has failed to adequately safeguard research collaborations with them, and researchers affiliated with Harvard co-authored more than 140 publications and other research affiliated with a group of Chinese universities. It's the Seven Sons of National Defense, and that's a group of Chinese industries.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called the Seven Sons of National Defense.
Oh,
and they're identified by the Pentagon and other U.S. officials as central to Chinese defense research and military modernization efforts. And the House committees created, it was created to crack down on China. And they say that, look, Harvard's approach to research security opened the door for collaborations that could advance technological and military capabilities of the hostile nation. They reportedly received $600 million from China under federal Section 117 foreign gift disclosure system, so that we know they got it. They disclosed it.
Right.
They say, hey, we got $600 million from China to work on this stuff. And that's more than any American university. Which is fine, but the finances tied to China heighten the need for strict oversight of its research partnerships and foreign funding disclosures, according to the Select Committee from the House. And the universities receiving U.S. taxpayer funding must do more than meet narrowest legal requirements when collaborating with institutions embedded in China's military research systems, particularly when it comes to technology with potential defense or military uses.
I agree.
And one of them, let's see, there was a 2023 newspaper. Wait a minute, I got a phone call there. Let me talk to Mike. Good morning, sir.
Hi, Russ. This is Mike McKeithen.
Hey, nice to.
I'm the chief steward for the Machinist Union at YPG.
Oh,
hey.
Well, thanks for calling in. And
yeah, I got a call from Gilbert who said, hey, there's a wild rumor going around from somebody, and I thought, okay, well, that's definitely on the rumor side of the house.
Well, I'm the one that started it, I think.
Oh, come on now, dude.
Well, no, I mentioned they did. I know they have unions at YPG, but I thought they were voluntary. Like you're not forced to join. Am I wrong on that?
That's true.
It is true.
No, you're right. It is true. It is voluntary. I do the new hire orientation every Tuesday and lay out the plan saying, this is voluntary, and just lay out the benefits of why we're here and what we're doing.
Oh,
We
okay.
reduce your wages by $6 an hour, all that good stuff.
The question came up whether or not federal employees have to join the union, but contracted employees don't. Is it voluntary for both?
There could be I don't know about the federal.
Okay.
I believe it is also something you sign up for, because I've talked to several federal employees and they didn't know they had a union.
Okay.
So
it does sound voluntary.
So I think it's voluntary.
Okay.
And the people who they get the same benefits, and that may be where the confusion comes in. You get the same benefits whether you
Right.
sign up or not.
Okay.
So anyone who's in what we call the bargaining unit on a contractor side is in the union. It's just a question of whether you're going to pay dues or not.
All right.
I see.
Now, if they decide they want to join and they want to pay dues, do they have to do that by paying it directly, or does it still withdraw out of the paycheck?
Straight out of your paycheck.
It does come out of the paycheck, because there's also been
yeah,
discussions about that going on in the nation on whether that should continue in some cases in some states.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't, the PRO Act. I like the voluntary system.
Yeah.
You get a better group of people. You can't please people no matter what you do.
Yeah, that's true.
You just get if people said, like California, if you're a union, I forget the exact word they use, but it's all in-house. You will be part of the union. Period.
Yeah.
You will pay dues. Period.
Right.
And part of what the PROS Act, I believe, don't quote me because I'm not a politician.
Okay.
I think they were going to charge everybody a certain rate. So you have your dues paying members, and then you have people who aren't, but they're going to pay something because they're getting the same benefits and services.
Right.
So,
And
somebody needs, gets in trouble, they call me or one of the stewards, and we represent them just as we represent anybody else.
now, is the machinist union the only union at YPG, or is there?
Oh no.
No, there's, machinists have they've got it pretty much wrapped up, but there are a couple others, especially at MCAS. But
Okay.
they've got most of MCAS too. But there's all kinds of companies that the machinists are representing out there. We got 13 or 14 different CBAs here in Yuma. Little old Yuma has 13 collective bargaining agreements with 13 companies.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
And,
I mean,
yeah,
it's a big operation out there, and
Yeah.
at times bigger than
Yeah.
others. But did you
Yeah.
know Tom Simmons?
he was the president of our lodge. Yes, I sure do.
Oh, okay. Now he used to call me occasionally and straighten me out.
Yes, he's good for that.
Yeah, and he still comes by and sees. I saw him just the other day. I know he's talking about
Yeah.
moving out to Florida and some
Yeah.
retirement community and chasing old women. But I don't know.
Oh, he will too. They need to put a warning on him, a Surgeon General warning. No, he's a great guy. He served the lodge well for the years he was in, and we've got a new president now, but I kind of miss him. He's a crusty old fart.
Well, yeah, when he enters the room for sure.
Yes, he's the only person I knew, and again, he's a Republican,
Right.
but we've met Kelly 3 or 4 times. He knows who we are in Yuma. We've talked to the governor a couple times, either here in Yuma or at our state councils. And he just walks up to Kelly. And I thought, well, how do we approach Kelly?
Yeah.
Don't even like him. How do we approach him? And he just walks up, shakes his hand real hard, and slaps him on the side. And those two are the best buddies that have ever been around. What the hell is this? How do you do that?
That's exactly how he is. I mean, he
That's
can
good.
be the life of party, but he's going to tell you what he thinks. He's not going to hold back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a good guy. We miss him.
Yeah.
Just in case he's listening.
That's a smart move, my friend.
There
I
you go.
appreciate the call. Thank you.
All right, dude. Take care. You
All
bet.
right,
Take
bye-bye.
care, man.
Bye-bye.
That was nice to have him call. Yeah, I think Tom has looked at that retirement community. It's real famous in Florida. I forget
Oh.
the name of it. Sean Hannity's done some shows from there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's some big retirement community out there that apparently is just a lot of fun.
Hmm.
And he's the Villages, I think, is what they call it. And he's thinking about
Yeah, go for
going
it.
down there.
Have a
No,
good
you should stay here, man. You should stay here in Yuma when we need him. But he comes by the shop occasionally. I still see him occasionally. He
just
comes
to
in.
just to hang out.
Oh, I think he broke his car too. He broke it. Got to come in and see if we can figure it out. Yeah. Well, that's good. I thought that was true, that they didn't have to join.
Right.
And Tom is Republican, and he would call in and says, because I'm anti-union overall.
Yeah.
And he called, but we have a good union. And I said, show me. Which he does.
Yeah.
The benefits and all that stuff. So,
Well, and I'm sure this machinist union is probably very similar to the welders union that I was talking about.
Probably.
Those hard skill labor unions tend to be, come in, let's get some work done, let's build up your family and build up you, and we're not going to take over the world. We're just going to live our lives. It's the other ones like the Teamsters or the teachers union or something like that are trying to manipulate things.
I know at YPG, and I've been told by Tom and some others that many shops would have AM 560 on.
Oh yeah.
At 6 o'clock in the morning when they get started for work. They just start for work, and they've said something. You're the voice of YPG, or a voice that's heard quite a bit at YPG, and I don't know how it is now that it's not.
Do they have their Facebook running?
I don't know. I don't know if they have that capability.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as streaming, but we should be on in a couple weeks.
That's exciting.
Maybe a month at the
That's
most.
exciting. Yeah.
We'll be on. Back on. I need to give him word. Say, go ahead and listen. I'll talk bad about you. You need to call me up and get me to stop it. Anyway, I was talking about Harvard researchers where they co-authored a 2023 paper with a researcher of China's National University Defense Technology and other institutions on a U.S. restricted list. I mean, a lot of these companies are on restricted lists that the U.S. has put out through the State Department that you just can't deal with these guys.
All right.
Well, Harvard doesn't care. And the study involved magnetic materials and acknowledged partial support from the U.S. Army Research Office. So we're getting a lot of the cooperation from the research office on particularly on how this stuff is used in underwater. Our subs are silent for certain reasons and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But they're not looking at it as military, but yet it's military applications. So they found that the engineering accounted for the largest share of Harvard-affiliated research involving Seven Sons Institution. They're more interested in engineering, from allowing, and they're barred because allowing violence against anti-China protesters to collaborating with entities linked to the PLA. Harvard's made serious mistakes and must act now to prevent more. And this is according to a paper put out by the select committee saying, well, you got to do more.
Yeah.
Should use investigation as a catalyst for significant reforms that end CCP influence on campus. Prioritize secure America research. Committee Chairman John Bolinar, Republican out of Michigan, said Harvard said it shares the committee's concerns about geopolitical risk, including threats posed by Chinese Communist Party, and is committed to continuing to conduct research and academic program with protections that prioritize U.S. interest and national security.
That all sounds good.
That's what they say, according to the university spokesman. Anyway, Harvard follows national security standards and guidance set by the federal government for its international collaboration. It's just public relations stuff. Additionally, where appropriate, federal agencies who are best able to assist real-time national security risk work with Harvard to put in place approved risk mitigation measures for federally funding research. Harvard disagrees with mischaracterizations that fail to reflect the university's documented record of compliance, cooperation, commitment to protect and advance U.S. interests, national security, and global standings. And there are Harvard's executive education program train Chinese health officials on international health insurance systems. Attendance and registration records show of officials affiliated with the Changjiang Production and Construction Corp were listed in connection with some sessions. The Treasury Department sanctioned them in 2020 over human rights. It alleges that Harvard had advanced participant information for a 2020 online session that included XPCC's affiliation officials and did not take further action. Harvard professors Winnie Yip, who helped organize the executive production education program, told committee investigators she did not know XPCC was a sanctioned entity.
Well, that's what the government's saying. You
Well,
guys
if you
need to
don't know,
research
then
better.
that's okay, right? If you don't know
Yeah.
the law, then you're not subject. No, you're supposed to.
Yeah.
You're supposed to.
Well, that's what the report was saying. They need to research better. I
Yeah.
understand you didn't know, but that's still on you.
But some of their research has been stuff, underwater stuff and things that submarine technology uses. So
Well, with research, sometimes it's hard to tell if it's
yeah,
got
you could say it's for
defense.
farming,
Yeah.
but they use the same stuff,
Yeah.
For military.
So you got to think it through a little bit more.
Hey, Mike, what's up?
I just should have come in there and made Chris scoot over and sit down next to him. My third freaking call today.
Okay.
You are all stupid in S if you think that last union steward answered my question.
Oh, I thought he did.
All right. What was your question?
If government civilian employees were required to join the union, he said all he's heard of government employees out there, and
Well, that's civil service, mate.
Yeah.
He said civil service doesn't have to.
He said they didn't even know there was a union.
Yeah.
And like he said, all right, then maybe I misheard, but I'm telling you that there are, as civil servants, what they call the civilian employees that actually work for the United States federal government.
Right.
Yeah.
Or civil service, someone else, anyone that might work for a different contractor. I mean, I don't know the definition of civil service.
Well, if you're working directly for the government, I think it's civil service.
Yeah.
If you're working for a contractor, you're not. You're
Okay.
You're just working for that contractor. And apparently there's 13 of them. So 13 different bargaining contracts.
Yeah.
So I stand corrected. The question was asked and answered.
Possible.
I'm going to go with that story for now.
Okay.
All right. Take care, man. Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Look at that. Holding
Hey.
my feet to the fire. Make sure I get it right. Well, how dare he?
When you were talking about Harvard right there, not long ago, maybe it's been a couple months by now, I read an article that they're being accused of inflating grades to ensure that students graduate. And Harvard has always been, held as, no, we're all about the education. And so I don't know where that, where the investigation went, what the outcome of it
Well,
was.
we always want
but-
students to graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
But we want them to graduate because they were educated, not
Correct.
because they just happened to get this
That
arbitrary
they
grade. So-
fulfill the requirements of
Yeah.
graduation. Whatever
but
those
it's
are.
interesting to me that that's a similar issue that's happening at every level of education, and that now people are at least envisioning that it's hitting.
We've got some
the
colleges
top
now,
education
I guess,
and,
came forward and said they're not
Ivy
going to do
League.
grades.
Yeah.
In like the first semester, so I can forget which one that was. First semester, just
Yeah.
not going to do grades, which is kind of stupid.
Yeah.
What?
Well,
You're going to disincentivize.
there's a
the
right
hard
way
work.
to do it and a wrong way to do it. Yeah. If the problem I have with the grade system is it's an external motivation. The kids doing it just to get the grade. They're not doing
So?
it to. Well, it changes their approach. If all I want to do is get the grade, I'm willing to cheat.
Oh,
Yeah.
cheating's not good.
No,
Cheating should
but
be.
if you're doing it because you want to learn, you're not going to cheat.
But I
Because that
think I
defeats the
fought.
purpose.
I fought for grades. I
Yeah.
did. I did fight for grades.
Mhm.
But fighting for grades meant I knew the material.
Right.
That's how you fight for a grade.
Right.
Like you're going to be able to answer every question on the test.
Yeah.
And you're going to know the material.
And I didn't. I couldn't care less about my grades. Yeah.
I did. And I had no one checking them. I had no refrigerator to put them on. It wasn't that. It was just my competitive nature.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to be the top.
And yeah,
top student.
and that's one of the problems with education is we're looking for a one size fits all solution to everything, and there is no one size fits all, because
Well,
for
no.
some people the grades are an incentive, like
Yeah.
there's a way to keep score. For other people it's like, well, I don't want to do that, I want to do
But-
this, and
but
now you're
I-
making me do it just for this arbitrary
But I think the grades
number.
tell us a lot, and I think the grades.
They should, but when you start getting grade inflation, when people start being more worried about, are the kids passing, are they graduating?
Well, then
And
that's
then
that's
the
a that's a
education.
that's
Then
a function from the university that's
yeah.
stupid.
Well, it's at every
that
level.
trashes their own system is what that does. But if it's real, and life is real. Once you get out of education, life is real.
Yeah.
And your grades matter. Your grades is then going to be, did you make quota?
Right.
Did you do the work required?
Yep.
Did you get the trucks out on time?
Well, and
whatever that is.
that's the idea behind the idea of standards-based grading. Did you accomplish this? Did you accomplish that? Did you
Right.
accomplish that? But
And-
people tend to
Well, sure, you can accomplish.
misuse the
You can
standards-based
accomplish,
grading
like at
too, so-
McDonald's, you could get all the orders out on time.
Yeah.
But 50% of them are wrong. That's a bad grade. I don't care if you got them all out on time.
Yeah.
That's a bad grade. And so I kind of embraced it, and I studied to not beat the system, but to work with the system and to get the best grade. And the only way to do that was know that material inside and out.
Yeah.
And as a result, when I took my GMATs, and I didn't want to take GMATs, I didn't want to go to graduate school, and I never did go to graduate school. I just wanted to go to work.
Right.
And I wasn't going to take them. And the college kept asking me, like, you're taking them. And I was like, no. And I had a vice president come up and tell me, Russ, why are you not taking GMATs? I said, because I don't want to pay the $90 or whatever it was to take the GMATs. We'll pay it for you.
Really?
I said, okay. I said, but why? He said, because the university wants to show that we do
Right.
we perform well, and that we've got students that do great on the test,
Yeah.
on the GMATs, and we know that you will. So okay, I'll take it. And I
Right.
got a 97 percentile.
Yeah,
And,
good.
and that's the only grade they give is a percentile, like how you match up. And then they came after me. They said, with this piece of paper, you can get any graduate school you want, and get it paid for.
Right.
I don't care. I'm not going.
Right.
I had plans to move to Florida and get to work, and that's what I did. I went to Florida.
Yeah, that seems to have worked out for you.
It was okay. It worked out okay. And who knows? Maybe I should have gotten a graduate degree. I don't know.
Ah,
I don't know.
yeah, you can't.
I didn't. But at the same time I took the GMATs, they said, well, would you take these other CLEP tests, the college
Right.
level equivalent? And I said, well, why do you want me to take those? Well, if you take them after you've taken the course and then you take the CLEP, that sets the standard for what someone that wants to CLEP out of a course needs to work on.
Wow.
So I scored 96 to 98% on all those. And
you ruined it.
I ruined them. I ruined the curve, at least for a time. I'm sure
Yeah.
that's long gone now.
Yeah, there's plenty of dummies that have taken it.
Yeah,
since
there's
then,
plenty,
but
but
they brought it back down.
But they didn't want people to CLEP out easily.
All right.
So if they gave the CLEP test to somebody that passed the class and only got 70%, that would be like not good for them.
Yeah.
They didn't think so. They
Yeah.
wanted me to take them.
But not every place is like that, and times have changed.
But that's
so,
me.
yeah.
That was studying to get the grades.
Yeah.
I studied. I always did the extra credit. And I felt responsible because I had this teacher in it was accounting, governmental accounting and stuff. That I would always do the extra credit because I knew he would be asking anybody to do the extra credit, and all these people were, raise their hand. This is wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. Russ, give us the answers. It was a pressure.
All right.
I felt like I had to help him.
I could see that.
Because he was happy that I was a guy that really knew how to get the thing done, figure it out.
Right.
And I did. I figured it out.
Yeah, and I've been very similar, in classes where nobody else did the reading, nobody else
Yeah.
did, and so I'm answering questions, and I've been told a time or two, I turned into Hermione Granger.
They
I was
beat
like,
you up.
they're like, no, the professor's like,
Let somebody
maybe
else.
let's see if somebody else can answer it, and I'm like, well, you're welcome to get them to, but
See,
they're just sitting there silent. So
I didn't raise my hand. He just
Yeah.
called on me.
Yeah.
After every,
I'd wait. I got to the point where
I'd wait.
I'd wait.
I'd
I'd
wait.
look around. Nobody's raising their hand.
yeah.
As
I didn't
we
want to
gotta
get
something
beat up
started
after
here.
class. But I enjoyed college. I enjoyed it.
Mhm. Oh, I did too.
And I never went to parties.
Oh, really? Yeah, I
Nope.
was married by then, so
I was married. So I worked, and if I had 3 days, some days you only went to college Monday, Wednesday, Friday in
Right,
some of my
yeah.
classes. So Tuesday and Thursday I'm off.
Right.
So Tuesdays and
You're
Thursdays
working.
I'd be in the library
Yeah.
at 8 o'clock in the morning,
Mm.
and on the third floor at the same table, and I would be working, and people that knew me would come up and ask me questions.
Well, and I think because I was in a similar situation, and there's a difference between somebody that is living a life. They're married. They've got work.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had kids by then or not.
No,
But that's a different kind of student than the kid straight out of high school. And that's what I did. I went to the Marine Corps first, and then I got out. I was
Yeah.
married. We had a kid on the way, but by the time I was in college, we had a couple kids by the time I finished college. And I was different. And I would, I'm only 3-4 years older than
but
than
the
the
whole
kids next to me.
generation seems like.
But
Yeah.
and I'd come home. I said, "Oh, these kids next to me." Yeah, and I was already thinking of them like I do now. These kids who haven't lived, who don't understand,
Right.
how they fit into the world,
Right.
and they're just there because they're supposed to be.
I took some time off before I went to college,
Mhm.
so I wasn't.
I'm a huge.
I didn't go there at 19.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to go to college
Yeah.
at first.
I'm a huge proponent of the. They call it the gap year.
I
Go
was a-
out and do something else.
I was a teamster
Yeah.
working in a frozen food
Oh,
warehouse.
You were one of them.
I was a teamster. And in fact, I ran for shop steward because I
Okay.
wanted to be shop steward, because I read the contract and I said, well, they're not treating us according to the contract. This contract's crap. And the policies in the contract are not being adhered to, and the union's doing nothing about it.
Right.
So I ran for shop steward. I got promoted during that running to a management job.
So you couldn't be a union.
Right. And that was coordinated.
That's how they get you.
But that was coordinated between the union and the company,
Oh, okay.
because they were in collaboration to cheat the employees anyway. See, that union was not brought in by the people. When Burris Foods decided to build that building to make that operation, they only had a couple people working at that time. Contractors were doing it, but they had a couple people on the payroll. They had them form the union with the Teamsters. They sat down with the Teamsters and negotiated, like, look, we're not even open yet. So they're paying half the people half the wages that they were down the streets with none of the benefits.
Huh.
And they got it signed up with just a couple people. Then they went out and hired people. And then they were forced to join the union because it's a closed work state
Right.
in Delaware. Well, see, I read all that stuff and I said, well, this is crap. So they got me to go in the union. They figured they'd let me work for a couple weeks and then fire me and get rid of me because I was a thorn in their side.
Right.
Well, when I got onto the docks, I was the foreman of the docks. I literally doubled the production. We didn't have to work harder, just work smarter. Doubled the production, and they didn't know how I did. And in fact, I used to go to a lot of meetings. They said, "How do you do this? How did you get that done?" And they kept me.
All right.
They didn't fire me after all. But after that, sometimes after work, I get off at midnight. We'd stop by a local pub or something. I couldn't sit at the table with these guys.
Right.
Friends.
Right.
There were no. I mean, it was a rude awakening.
Right.
I think I was 19 or 20 years old. I didn't understand that's
Now
the way
you're
it
the
worked.
man. Yeah.
I didn't understand how that worked. Like, you can't sit with us.
Right.
Like, what? What are you talking about, Frank? Yeah. Yeah. It was quite a shakeup, an understanding of unions and employers and
Management,
all
all that,
management,
yeah.
the whole bit. And the way to double the output was just don't be stupid. A lot of times they would just do, according to protocol,
Right.
you back the next truck in that was waiting. Well, that next truck may be going to a place in the warehouse that's backed up and we're not being able to put any freight away.
Yeah.
Don't back them in. Back the truck in that goes to the side of the warehouse where nothing's happening, and we'll pop him out real quick. So I was doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of says I got to back this truck in next because he's been waiting the longest. I don't care. If he backed in, we still wouldn't be able to unload him. He's just taking up space. I'll
Yeah.
go tell him.
Well, nowadays you can get a degree in business management to figure out how to do that.
Logistics.
Yeah.
And I was a logistics guy just by comments,
nature,
just
yeah.
looking at it. It was just logistics. In fact, as the foreman, I did not sit in the office. And the office had view of the docks,
Right.
but not hands on. I drove the forklift and told the old forklift driver that was so slow he could have walked faster. I put him in the office because he was great with paperwork.
There you go.
I said, do the paperwork. I'm on the forklift.
Yeah.
And I drove forklift. And then I was in every truck, literally, saying, what's taking so long? Let's get this thing loaded. Let's get it unloaded.
And that's how you get things to happen.
Yeah.
You know
So
the job.
we literally doubled the business, but
There you
didn't
go.
seem like we were working harder, just smarter.
Well, putting people where their talents
Yeah.
fit is a huge
It's just a
benefit,
logistics.
yeah.
And it confused the management. Like when I turned it over, we were 24-hour operation, so 3 shifts. When I turn over to the next shift, everything that's left, they're like, well, what's left? I guess you can clean up, man.
Yeah.
We left a mess, Get a broom out there or something. I don't know. Do whatever you
Make
think.
yourself useful.
Yeah, whatever you got to do. Trump's getting rid of Carolyn Levitt. Nah, Carolyn's quitting. She's leaving.
The spokesperson.
Yeah, man.
Really?
Press secretary. She's the youngest.
I thought I knew she was a first for something. Well, I thought she was the first female.
No.
No.
Lots of females.
Oh, have there been?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Prefer them.
But she's been the youngest.
Yeah. 28 years old.
I knew there was a first that she did.
Yeah. Levitt became the youngest White House press secretary in history when Trump returned to office in 25.
She's been doing a great job. Where's she going?
She doesn't even have notes. She's going home. She's got her second child now. She just had in May, I guess, a daughter. She had a daughter in May. She stayed out 7 weeks, came right back. But she was always engaged in doing something. Even then, she was getting phone calls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I like her on day one. She came out without no notes or something. She just she knew what's going on. She was working with Trump during the first term as an assistant on the press.
And I've always been impressed by how she handled because I got to imagine that being Trump's spokesperson can be hazardous. Because he says things that probably shouldn't have said, and you got to respond to that. The media is attacking from all kinds of different positions. You got to be ready for everything that's coming at you. And then there's important stuff that does need to get out and does need to be said clearly. And that's a heavy job, and she was doing a great job. And being as young as she is, because if she's 28 now, she's what 26, 25 when he came into office, when she took the job. That's a kid, and she's been doing a fantastic job.
She's awesome.
Jumped into the fire, and
who's in line to take her place?
Who's that?
Scott Jennings. CNN.
He's coming down.
He's going to be in town
on September
7th. We're sponsoring him.
Wow,
now,
that's interesting.
I just read this. Tanya Wright just put it out there that Scott Jennings is in line to replace.
Okay,
but that doesn't mean he's taken
right.
it.
Right.
Because look, this guy's making big buck right now at CNN.
Yeah,
he's doing a phenomenal job. He's a bright guy, and he's going to be at a fundraiser September 7th here in Yuma. There's still some seats available. You better get on it.
Yeah,
just get on to the local Yuma GOP, and you can get some tickets.
Or just look at Tanya's text and Facebook, because
not everyone has that.
He's all over it.
Yeah, he's all over it. And a lot of those, I already have a table.
Okay.
Yeah, and in fact, I'm emceeing the thing. So,
well, of course, who else would do it?
Nobody wants to. That's just
nobody wants to.
Yeah, no,
try to live up to your.
So how many people want to MC? Nobody. And MC's a lot more than just talking about reading a script. I mean, when you MC, you can it's a logistics thing too, getting things done on time. That sounds like a doorbell.
Yeah, one of my alarm choices there.
But anyway, Levitt is leaving, and some people put a negative on it, like, see, Trump can't keep people. No, it's always temporary.
Yeah.
and she's got 2 kids, and right now it's motherhood right now, and her child
Is
was
that what?
she had a child in May.
Yeah.
And she
Well,
wants
and
to
like
get,
I was wondering why she's leaving until you mentioned second child. Well, that's a
yeah.
great reason to leave.
She's been
Go
there the
home,
last year
raise
and a
your kid.
half. And here she says, serving the White House press secretary for the last year and a half has been an honor and an adventure of a lifetime. Most of all, I'm thankful to the president for entrusting me with the distinct privilege of speaking on behalf of the White House podium. I have spoken with great pride about the many historic accomplishments of the administration, and I have relished holding the liberal media accountable and ensuring the American people hear the truth about President Trump's success. Being a mother and welcoming a new baby while working in one of the most demanding jobs in the
Yeah.
world has been the most rewarding yet challenging season of my life, to say the least. The truth is, since returning to the White House after the birth of my daughter, I have felt in my heart that I cannot be the best mom of my 2 young children that they deserve, while devoting
I agree.
the constant time, energy, attention required of the White House press secretary. And that's why I have ultimately made the bittersweet decision to depart the White House and embark on a new chapter of my life. President Trump has asked me to continue serving as the top advisor to him on the outside, and I'll always remain a vocal advocate for MAGA and the Republican Party. So I would say that's not a bitter end.
No. Yeah, there's you got to go on to different things in life, and this is the time for her to do
Now,
that.
amazingly, a lot of people have jumped with praise. Trump said, our wonderful White House press secretary and one of my most trusted aides, Carolyn Levitt, will be departing her role at the end of the month. So I'm wondering if Scott Jennings gets the job, he starts on the 1st of September. Will he be in Yuma on September 7th? Will he honor his bookings? We got contracts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how that works. Find out.
That would be really cool
that he's coming.
To have the
my gosh.
secretary.
Yeah, we'll probably have Secret Service with him. So he can spend more time with her beautiful children and family, a decision I totally understand and respect.
Absolutely, yeah.
And,
I can't imagine being a parent and being a press secretary. Mother, father, doesn't matter. I mean, you're on call 24/7. You're having to deal with all kinds of things. And there's a lot of time, even just during the regular workday, that they're going to be involved with things.
I'm going to have to call Tanya and tell her to raise the price.
We're getting the Speaker of the House.
We're getting the press secretary.
Press secretary.
That would be, and well, not only him. It's going to be Andy Biggs is going to be here.
Right.
Cena Kurt is going to be here. The Mike, I forget his last name, the mine inspector will be here.
Pressmick or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to be here. And I know I'm forgetting somebody. The president of the Senate, Warren Peterson.
Yeah.
He's going to be here speaking. And there's one other, the treasurer, guy running for treasurer.
Oh, Nick.
What's his last name?
Norton, something like
Norton,
Norton.
something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's going to be speaking. I mean,
is it Nick Norton?
I
don't remember his first name.
I'll have to find out. But it's going to be.
That's a big lineup.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
You could take any one of them out and not miss anything.
Yes, correct.
That's huge.
Except Jennings.
Yeah.
He's got to be here now.
Yeah.
Although I don't know. I mean, he's in line.
Even if he doesn't ultimately become press secretary, just being, knowing somebody that was in the running for that, who they're going to have conversations.
Why would you not want to be there on September 7th? That's
a big job.
That's a big chance.
That's a big job.
Yeah, and you think if Carolyn Levitt, we would sell out.
Of
course we would.
I didn't realize she was so young because makeup and tricks
she's
to
a
make
baby.
People they always make you look young anyway, but just the way she carried herself, she didn't step down to anything.
No, she stepped on him real quick.
Yeah, and she established herself as a dominant person in the room, and this is the way things are. Young people don't have that persona.
No. And Trump's not letting her go.
Stepped into it.
He goes on to say Carolyn will now be one of my top outside advisors.
Oh, I'm sure.
From the House, and an influence voice within the Republican Party as we
she's going
to defy history and conclusively win the midterm elections. Carolyn has been a real leader.
Years to come.
He just goes on. Caroline's done a great job, been a leader, one of the best secretaries, White House press secretaries in the history of the office, all that kind of stuff. J.D. Vance jumps in. Says Caroline Levitt is one of the hardest, has one of the hardest jobs in the administration,
Yep.
dealing with the relentless attacks from the fake news media. She did the job with grace, wit, and a smile on her face.
Yep.
She's been one of the most effective voices and articulated and defended the president's agenda. And I'm incredibly grateful to her. Scott Jennings would be a perfect. Do you ever watch him on CNN?
No.
Oh, man. I mean, he is in the snake pit every day.
Yeah.
And he just smiles and then just tells the truth, and they all gasp. Oh, he's really brilliant. A brilliant guy.
Cool. I look forward to meeting him.
Yeah. You'll be there.
I always liked, I always liked how Caroline Levitt would, she was witty and funny when she would shut people down.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch.
She didn't cry up there when people insulted somebody.
No.
She just smiled.
Yeah. And took them down.
Yeah. Susie Wiles, White House Chief of Staff, nothing short of extraordinary. You have taken one of the toughest jobs in Washington with confidence, discipline, grace, and an unmatched ability to deliver the president's message. Simply put, you are the greatest press secretary.
She's going to raise great kids.
Marco Rubio jumps in. Caroline has been a critical part of President Trump's team. He's played a pivotal role in historic accomplishments of the most transparent administration in American history. Wishing her and her family nothing but the best in the next chapter. Kash Patel jumps in.
And when something like this happens, when somebody steps down, it's always, oh, they were so great, they're wonderful.
What's next?
That's what you have to do. Is you have to,
Oh, we'll be missed.
But they're doing this because they believe it.
Oh,
she was fantastic.
There's a lot more than you'll be missed. I mean, these are paragraphs. Long. They're writing.
Yeah.
They will. Even Kash Patel.
This is far beyond the socially required, see you later kind of thing. She's just
Erica Kirk too.
Okay, yeah.
Jumped in there.
Everybody's in.
Family always comes first. You think
yes.
Erica would definitely say that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a big family. So is Charlie. There's wisdom and strength in knowing what season God is calling you into and having the courage to follow it.
Yep.
Your family is blessed to have you, and I cannot wait to see what God has in store for you next. Very religious family, the Kirks. Very much so. Trump is not immediately named a successor, but I just got this from Tanya. I believe Tanya.
Oh, she knows everything.
Yeah, Tanya's on top of it. The Freedom Library.
Yes, I love that, guys.
August 20th is going to be the new class, U.S. Constitution class. So,
have you ever taken a class from
yes,
him?
I have.
From him?
Constitution class.
I took the because I don't know if it's still the case, but teachers had to take the Arizona Constitution and the U.S. Constitution class, and I took both of them from Howard, and they were amazing. I loved, and I still have the copies of the Constitution that he gave us for the class. The Arizona Constitution is like a book. You can get the U.S. Constitution if small print, but legal size. Legal disclaimer size print. You can get the whole U.S. Constitution on front and back of a piece of paper. But
really?
Yeah, Arizona Constitution, it's a book. We just do too many amendments.
I know. Well, that's because we have voters
referrals and initiatives.
It's terrible.
Yep.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
I would take that out right away if I could.
If we could, yeah. I was talking to my wife about the whole ESA thing, and I was like, it's all wrong. But then to make it even worse, they're doing it as a constitutional amendment. She says, when it could just be a law, but they're making a constitutional amendment. She says, why? So that it's harder to change? Yeah, they're trying to not only dictate what's happening today, but what's going to happen 30, 50 years.
Which we don't know. But it's easier to do that than sometimes to make a constitution through the proper avenues. I say proper; they're both proper, but an avenue to go through the legislature and make it. It requires huge percentages where you can get the voters to just do a majority, and you can lobby them, and you can lie to them, and market them, and stuff, and then make it all sound like it's a great deal, the best deal ever.
They make it sound like common sense,
and it sucks.
Yeah,
and it's going to hurt you.
Yeah,
and you don't know it. And then once you do it, it's part of the Constitution, and then after the law is enacted, you realize, oh man, this is a terrible portion of it. can't tweak it.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't.
And not even the legislature
Legislator
can
can't
do
tweak it.
anything because it was an initiative.
You got to go back and do another initiative
Yep.
to tweak it, which is just cumbersome and unfortunate. It's
Yep.
unfortunate.
And during Howard's class, he pointed out that one of the amendments years ago accidentally made ambulances illegal.
Yeah.
And they had to go back and do another constitutional amendment to legalize ambulances in the meantime.
And big money gets involved
Yep.
to make
Oh,
decisions.
huge money.
From
Out-of-state
outside
money,
state,
yeah.
man. They'll start pouring billions of dollars in here to change our constitution, and then we have to live with it.
Yep.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I would like to see something done to where they've talked about sunsetting these things. You know, like, look, we can still do it, but every 10 years it's going to go away unless you re-up it.
I would really like to just get rid of the initiative and referendum.
I would too. Most
that'd be
states don't
cool.
have it.
No.
Newer states do. They came along and they thought, well, this would be a great idea to let the people have a voice in doing it versus just legislature. Our voice is getting the right legislature in there.
Yeah. And then if we got the wrong
we can change it.
legislators, we can change it next election. Yeah.
But with this referendum thing, it's forever. It's
And
like, it's like tattooing your face. You may think later it was it was a mistake, but it's too late. Tattooed my face.
it looked great. It was a good idea at the time.
Yeah, man, it's terrible.
And then you got people that don't understand the implications of the way they write the amendment.
Right.
And
it sounds like want something, but there's a double negative in there that you didn't catch, and it's lawyers who say no, it's not that way. Ambulances are illegal,
and then everybody else has to, the Supreme Court's going to have to enforce it because that's the new constitutional law.
Because they're literal.
Yeah,
and they should be.
that's
their
when you
job.
mentioned that, I was like, well, that's where things should be literal. Is in the Supreme Court.
But it's Ketanji Brown that says you guys are too literal. Well, what is your job, Ketanji? She's nuts.
Well, and an activist judge. That's the whole thing that supports the idea of being an activist judge is they're not literal.
Right.
They're going to interpret things differently.
Yeah, based on current society, and well, it shouldn't be that way. So that's what we're not going to do it.
Yeah. Well, I can agree with it shouldn't be that way. Okay, then go through the proper process to change it.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
If you do it. But anyway, this Freedom Library.
Freedom Library.
Okay, August 18th will be the economics class. So you got an economics, and it's based on the economics of the country and all. And then August 20th, the Constitution, Freedom Library, 2035 South Arizona Avenue. That's in the Sun. If you see the big Sun building where they used to make newspapers, I guess they still do.
Yeah.
There's just not as many people doing it now. No. The parking lot looks empty, but they're not closed. They're still open. Used to be, and I mean, when I moved here in '95, that parking lot was packed.
Yeah,
you had so many people doing stuff, and now it's automated. A lot of it's automated.
Yeah, they get stories from the Associated Press and things like that. They have very few people here in Yuma actually do anything, but they still have to put out the community announcements and things like that, and
that's a big part of their business anymore, which is a shame. It used to be an afterthought. Now it's like half the paper.
Yeah,
and that's still, speaking of just announcements before I finish this, it's by law when you do things like open up a corporation or do something like that.
That's when I've had
you have to publish it in the newspaper,
right? So
that it's public,
right?
Well, there's so many ways to make it public now that didn't exist, and many times the legislature comes forward and says, okay, let's just make it that we can put it on, a website or put it on something and all that, a public information website. And it always gets defeated, because people say, but what will the newspapers do then? Well, the newspapers will go out of business. So it's artificially propping up the papers by legislators that says, but we like newspapers and we don't want them to go out of business.
Yeah.
Well, the only way they go out of business is if you don't sell them and if you don't get advertised and you don't get people buying into it. It's a normal, like the buggy whips went out of business.
Right.
But if the legislatures had their way, we'd be still making them because we don't want them to go out of business.
Well, they're not buggy whips anymore, but
what are they? We don't want to talk about it. But anyway, give the Freedom Library a call.
Yeah.
This is Howard's personal number, I think, 928 246 2327. Or you just go to the website, thefreedomlibrary.org.
And you don't have to wait until these classes, because if you go down there when they're open, they've got books and books.
It's a library.
There's so much that you can read, and he's there. And
Howard's
you can talk to him.
Howard's there most days.
Yeah.
He'll put a sign on the door if he's not. But most days you can drive down there and see his car and walk in. It's the
Great
same
guy to talk to.
It's the same building as the Sun, but he's got his own entrance on the north side.
Right.
Just go to the north side. You'll walk in, and
Yeah,
Howard will be sitting there.
he's been on your show before, and it's always something good to talk about.
Well, yeah, I always enjoy talking to Howard. He's a libertarian, but and I have disagreements with him.
But they're rational,
of course,
disagreements.
Of course.
He'll discuss it. He'll put out his point of view. He'll listen to your point of view.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy talking to him about anything. He's just fantastic. His wife is pretty cool too, but she's in the different field.
Oh, and some of Howard's, I get frustrated with him sometimes. Frustrated. Because he'll talk about like, well, no one should pay income tax because it's not even legal. It's not in the Constitution. And he's just wrong. Partially right in that.
Right. It's not in the Constitution.
No, but it's in an amendment, which is part of the Constitution. Right. Well, the founding fathers, I don't care. You can't say it's illegal.
Yeah, the founding fathers said you can put that in later if you want.
Yeah, that's why we have amendments and we have all that other stuff, and that give us opportunities to grow and spread and do all that other stuff, or become socialist, which is a real threat.
People are working on it. I never thought that could ever be a serious conversation in this country.
It shouldn't be.
And now we're having that conversation.
It shouldn't
that's
be
insane.
It shouldn't be a threat. Yeah. It shouldn't be existing. Unfortunately, it is.
Yeah.
And we need to talk about it. What the changes would be. Like look, it all sounds good to get everything for free. It sounded good to the people in Cuba. That's why they went for it.
Right.
Yeah, it sounded good to people in China. That's why they went for it.
I watched a documentary about ABBA, the band.
Yeah.
And they came from a socialist country.
It's not really socialist. Sweden.
Yeah.
It's not socialist.
They had to pay 80% sales tax.
High taxes, but it's not socialist.
I think they are. Well, and it depends on where you draw the line on socialist. Because we got some socialist.
Sweden is not a socialist country. It operates a free market capitalist economy with private ownership of business, low corporate tax rates, and open competition. However, Sweden is famous for the Nordic model, which combines this free market system with a large social welfare state.
Yeah.
So they're not socialists, but they have a social welfare state, which is unfortunate. We don't want to be that either.
No.
But Sweden's not socialist; they're capitalists, and that mistake's made a lot. Where they call them socialists? No, they have a social welfare state more than we do,
right?
And we have too much.
I don't know if it's too much, but it's being utilized the wrong way. I think it's just being open to everybody. You want it, you got it.
That means too much.
Yeah.
And look, when during COVID, when we got notice that SNAP had 42 million recipients, I know I snapped my head and got, what? 42 million people need food assistance?
Right.
What the heck? Well, now we find out that probably half of that was fraud.
Right. Oh, I'm sure a lot of it is.
Yeah. It became so easy, everybody's on it. And I think people on the left that want us more of a socialist state would say,
okay with that.
We want everybody on it.
Right.
We want everybody to look to the government for all their needs, whether it's housing or food or whatever, medical. And that way everything will work better. No, it won't.
Right.
No, it won't.
Yeah. And again, one size fits all is a problem. There are some people that could function well in a socialist or communist society. Teachers. We do not work for the money. We work because we want to serve the community. We want to,
well, then why do you need a pay raise?
That's why we don't have pay raises, because we're willing to work.
Oh, wait a minute.
for
Juicy gave
the
everybody a
service we're doing.
20%
Right.
pay raise back then.
But that, those kinds of people that are
Yeah.
doing it because they have a calling, they feel a calling to do this, and we're going to do it.
What does a high
They don't care who.
What does a high school teacher with 10 to 15 years experience make?
in Yuma?
Yeah.
Probably in the 50s.
Yeah. More than I pay my techs.
More than really?
Sometimes, yeah.
Huh.
Depending on their time, experience, and stuff
Mhm.
like that. But yeah, I mean, it competes, and of course that's their base pay, and they make a lot. They can do a lot of other stuff because.
Well, not really. There's only so many stipends available.
Okay, there's some,
and you can only get a couple because you only have so much time in the day,
Yeah.
and they're usually like $1,000 in a year. They're
Okay.
not really much. Again, they're doing it not for the money. They're doing it because they want to be the coach of the.
Well, I know a
team
lot
or
of them
something like that.
work on some of the off time and stuff like that.
Yeah, but but other like your business would
Uh-huh.
not work well in a socialist or communist society because you are driven to make your business the best business,
Right?
And because you own it, it's your thing. And if it was owned by the government,
I'd have to follow a different protocol.
yeah, and nobody would care if it was a successful business, because it was going to be,
Right.
And so different people, could fit in a different model, but as a country as a whole, it really needs to be capitalist because that's what drives a community.
Well, that's how we've been the best nation in the world.
Yeah, I heard somebody mention, capitalism has 400 years head start. If it's more than 400 years, it's basically been capitalism from the beginning. People have always been trying to, do what's best for them and get the resources that they need. And I don't care if it's actual cash or grain that you're trading. It's still capitalism. It's always been.
It's what makes it work.
Yeah.
Iran and the United States, I guess they still have a disagreement on things.
Really? We haven't settled that yet?
Hasn't settled that yet. And I know Trump wants it settled for a lot of reasons.
Everybody wants it settled.
Yeah, I know.
Even Iran has to want it settled by now.
Some factions, I would imagine, are tired of it. But the controlling interest, the Iranian army and they enjoy the fight. I mean, they're in it till death. They don't care. They a Revolutionary Guard and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they survive, they're winning.
Right.
That doesn't matter if 90% of them wiped out. We're still winning because we're not gone.
Right.
That's a tougher one to win. I mean, and the press will put it out there that the Iranians are winning because we haven't won yet. The Iranians are winning.
Yeah.
Well, now
a delay is a win for them.
Correct.
Yeah.
They're claiming that they still maintain 75% of their missiles and drones capabilities, which I would perceive as a layman that's not got a military asset that's telling me what's really going on is a lie.
I would be surprised. Yeah.
I don't know how that can happen. I mean, I've seen.
I don't know how much their stockpile is.
We don't know. I mean, Trump would have a better idea. There's some intelligence, I'm sure, that's somewhat accurate. But we've seen a lot of the mountains that have blown up and stockpiles that have blown up and all that kind of stuff.
Well, and they're using a lot of missiles too.
They've used a lot, and we know that the factories that make them are blown up.
Right.
And the transportation from the countries that would give them more missiles have been blown up.
Right.
Including railroad track and roads and bridges and ports are not accessible.
Right.
So they're not importing very much, if anything.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like when Russia was parading empty missile tubes.
Yeah, we're
claiming
fine.
they had a lot of missiles.
Not a scratch, no problem at all. Well, they're claiming that the Iranian Army Deputy Commander for Executive Affairs, General Brigadier Sheikh, told Iran's state-run news agency, the IRNA, that U.S. and Israel strikes has not been effective, as the U.S. has claimed. More than 75% of the missiles and drone capabilities remain intact and ready. And is going to claim that the Iranian drone fleets have become the enemy's nightmare.
I'd like to test that statement.
Yeah.
Let's just go in and get this done.
Well, Trump and Trump is not. I mean, he's been holding back because of Qatar and United Arab Emirates and Saudi, which at the long run when this is all over, they're the ones that are going to have to maintain it,
Right.
not us.
Right.
You know, we want to go home.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't want to be there. We don't want to make it like North Korea and South Korea and, you know, occupy or do any of that stuff. Donald Trump last month said that he estimates that Iran's down to just 22% of its missile supplies because some of them are deep in mountains and some of them recognized they've bombed the entrance, but they could dig the entrance back out.
Right.
They don't necessarily destroyed them, everything that's inside. Donald Trump says we know where their drones are. We know where their drone factories are. Most of the drone factories have been knocked out. Most of the missile manufacturing areas have been knocked out. They have some missiles, they have some drones, maybe 21, 22%. We know that because when they find one, dust it off, they should launch it. Yeah, and yet the press writes quite often about United States is in danger of running out. No.
Well, and we've got other options, even if we do.
Yeah,
You know,
we're not running out.
we're good.
And I talked about that the other day, and I was like, Russia has been firing thousands of artillery shells and everything every single day for 4 years. And they've run through stockpiles, but their manufacturing is at war capacity and it's making it as fast as they use it.
Right.
You know, we could do the same.
Yeah.
And in fact, Trump is spooling it up. If you see the Pentagon budgets are making a lot more. And a lot of what we burned through was going to have to be destroyed anyway because it has a best if used by date on it. Yeah, they all do. They have,
As it's coming in, they're looking up. Oh, hey, this one's expired.
best if used by, and I know a lot of that older munitions went to Ukraine.
Uh-huh.
In fact,
Yeah, I'm
Dean
sure
talked
that's
about it. He
used
said
up by
he
now.
saw a picture of a pallet of something of some missiles and stuff, and they had like a 97 birth date on it. You know, manufactured in 97. He says, "Wow, that's at the age where we'd be paying somebody to destroy it for us."
Well,
Yeah, there you go.
That's capitalism.
Let them have
We're
it.
gonna make
And
money for
that's a danger. I mean, right now, there's the generals are out there. They say, you know, we want more. Well, if you make them all and you don't use them,
Then we got to.
so where does that
Stockpile.
balance? Where is that
Yeah.
balance? I don't know. You know, that balance is we have to have enough for when we need them, but how much is that?
Yeah.
And of course, there's suppliers that supply them are also supplying overseas people like Patriots and stuff because our
Right.
Patriot systems are all over the planet. And so if we're low on Patriots, they're always manufacturing them, you know, for other countries too. But right now, Trump has asked them to step it up. So guess who pays for that? As we do. We have to pay for them to build a new facility and
and
stuff.
people talk about, it's costing so much money, but that money's being spent back into our country.
Yeah.
The people getting the money are going to make a life. They're going to spend that money.
Yeah.
It's going to be they're going to pay taxes on it. The people they buy things from are going to pay taxes on
Right.
it.
Local restaurants are going to boom and all that.
I
other
have
stuff, yeah.
no problem with any dollar the government spends back into the country.
versus
I couldn't care less.
sending it back out.
If it's when the money goes out, and that's what people were upset about with the money being spent on things to Ukraine. Like, oh, we're sending them all the money. No, we're sending them the missiles that we're paying our people to build, and they're going to pay us later,
Right.
assuming they win.
Well, actually, a lot of
You know.
European countries are buying it from
Yeah.
us and giving
Right.
it to Ukraine.
So
That was a Trump thing.
it's all good.
Yeah.
Understand the money and where it comes. Take Blitz's economics class. Understand the money and how it works through the system.
And amazingly, we lost track of that because so many things were shipped overseas. Biden shipped businesses overseas like nuts.
Right.
He suggested overseas. He wanted them overseas. Like, well, and they even made comments like, well, we shouldn't be building little toys and stuff. We need to get that done somewhere else. I mean, a lot of people were saying like, well, we don't want to bring sneakers back and make sneakers. That's not our, why? Are we too
good for that?
Yeah, too good to make sneakers?
Manufacturing. Yeah, and I teach in the manufacturing program at the college. That's what makes us great is our manufacturing. World War II, we manufactured.
Crazy.
That's how we came out solid and strong because we manufactured it.
It's mind-boggling how much we made in such little time back then. To even duplicate it today would be
Right.
mind-boggling.
Yeah.
That how many aircraft they produced. I mean, assembly lines are just spitting them out every day.
Yeah.
800 or not 8. I think there were 800-foot ships. Were they 800? The
I
Liberties?
don't know.
Liberties were big, but they were putting them out every day. Like this 800 foot ship every day. Boom, boom. Of course, there's an assembly line of stuff almost.
Yeah.
Compartmentalized and welded together and put out there every day and stuff. And these B-17s, P-51s, just coming off assembly lines like it was a Mattel machine or making Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Just coming out like nuts.
That's what made America great.
Yeah.
And that's how to make it great again, is to bring all those manufacturing jobs back to the country.
We're at the point now where we needed some icebreakers. We only have a couple icebreakers in the inventory now.
Okay.
Trump says we need to get 6 more. There wasn't any place to build them. We have to get them overseas. We have to get them overseas built. But he said, no, we're gonna get our guys trained. We're gonna build them here. We'll bring people in to train our own staff on how to make these again.
Good.
And that's something. We lose it. We don't even have the ability to make them. And China is making ships like we used to make during World War II. They were making them all day. I mean, they are the manufacturer of ships worldwide, that are making everything, the big oil ships, the cargo ships, all that big stuff. It's all coming out of China. And we let that happen.
We did.
The chips,
we encouraged it by sending out.
Yeah, we don't need to work.
Our work. Yeah.
Well, then we end up not making wealth anymore.
Well, and we end up with people saying, well, just give me everything I need then.
We're just consumers.
Yep.
You can't make a living being a consumer. They're not paying you to be a consumer. We need to be a manufacturer.
Boy, that would be nice.
Yeah, I'd be good at it. Reopening the Strait of Hormuz has become critical.
Yeah.
Well, it's been critical for a while. And the International Energy Agency says, look, it's getting more critical because of the global reserves are being tapped, all over.
Well, they're finding ways around it. Dubai is gonna, Dubai is right on the corner of the strait, so they have their ports on the north side in the strait in the Gulf. They're already talking about building ports on the south side, which is so they don't have.
Well, that's Oman that has access to that.
Yeah,
and they've got pipelines running,
and
so does Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia runs pipelines over to the Red Sea. Problem is, they don't take the full quantity of the oil they produce every day. They're limited, so they're building more.
Still need the strait.
Everybody's building more.
Yeah, we're finding ways to.
We're trying to find ways to get around it because it's just stupid. Hostile.
Well, and that's not a, it's ultimately I think that's a good thing to put more options out there and reduce the strategic importance of the strait.
Right.
So that in the future, people are like, we're going to control the strait. If we don't care because we have all these other options.
If Russia was a friendly nation, we'd be getting a lot from Russia.
Yeah.
Instead of having Ukraine bomb them.
Right.
But Ukraine's been bombing their capacity to
I don't understand how Putin's holding on to things over there.
Well, because they have no choice. I mean, he will pretty much like China has no choice.
They can rise up and revolt, but
they die.
They've done it before.
Yes, they have. Takes a major deal, but they don't get information.
Right.
They're limited on information. Like North Korea, very limited. China, limited. You don't know what's really going on. You don't know the truth. You only get
Iran is limited.
You only get what they tell you. Yeah. And if you protest in Iran, they killed like 40,000 people before Trump went in. Because they protested in the streets that we don't like what you're doing. Well, then we'll shoot you. And they mean it. They mean it.
I know.
It's been
We've
terrible.
seen it happen.
The IEA, what is the IEA? International Energy, says our forecast for global oil demand in the second half of 26 is reduced by about 550 so many barrels. I don't know versus last month's. Maybe it's just reduced, but I don't know the quantity. It means it's significant to me. As a continued closure of the Strait of Hormuz disrupts international supply chains, curtails product availability. And of course, you curtail that product availability. What that does is people find other ways, like we're not going on vacation this year. Oh, we're not.
Yeah.
We're not going to.
Well,
So we limit ourselves.
Yeah.
And prices limit. When prices go up, we limit what we're buying. So, and that's not good.
well, and I've said it so many times before. It's the people that make things work. The prices go up. People find a way to deal with it. Well, we're not going to go on vacation. We're going to have a closer vacation. We're going to start riding our bicycles. We're going to start walking.
Right.
We're going to use public transportation. It opens up other options for people, and people find a way to make it work, and eventually they'll come to a balance. But in the end, as long as Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon, it's all worth it.
Yeah. They say that we're going to return to a surplus by the second half of the year eventually. I agree with them. They probably will, because right now, Iran's playing games thinking that Trump is under the gun because of midterm elections,
Right.
and he's going to break.
Right.
I think Trump would give up midterm elections first.
Well, he's already said that.
Yeah.
Because I don't care.
I believe him.
And I think and the nature of the public attention span, I think people are just getting tired of worrying about Iran. It just doesn't seem to be as big an issue as it was. And by the time November comes along, people are going to be thinking about something else. It's become our norm, so it's not anything that people are harping on. So I think we're going to do fine. The socialists, they're the problem.
I think so.
Yeah.
Retired General Jack Keane talks about Trump's plane swap, which was hilariously funny.
Yeah.
That he went out in the food truck.
Yeah.
And what's funny is he didn't take all of his aides with him, just the important ones. The others were decoys.
Can you imagine the guys walking in? Nope, not you.
Oh my gosh. You get on the decoy plane, which the decoy plane is very capable of protecting itself, I guess. It's got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But they put the plane on, they put the Trump on a different one. Still, a lot of some of the press have come forward and said, "What? I was a decoy." I don't think that's what they called it.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, appreciate you. and of course, they didn't tell anybody.
Right. Yeah. They even snuck him back onto the plane
before he got off. Yeah.
So he could see him getting off the plane.
Yeah, he exited that plane. So how did it actually get out? They didn't release that.
I don't know. Yeah.
And
the news story I saw, they said that they asked for the White House for comment and they didn't get a comment. So somebody leaked it. But.
Hey, Mad Mike, what's up, man?
Dang, you took the call. Your mistake. It's my fourth one today.
Oh, okay.
That's got to be a record, huh?
Yeah, one that we don't want to break. But go ahead.
All right. Well, we'll see. We're still got 30 minutes left.
Okay.
And you can switch me over to Angry Mike now.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
You can switch my call signs over to Mad Mike to Angry Mike instead of Mad Mike, but not you this time. I'm not angry at you.
Okay, good.
I just dropped off a Walmart delivery. I brought it all the way out from the foothills, but I did 2 others on the way and a DoorDash on the way too. And this was down by it's not the Civic Center, it's the City Hall. It was off of Madison there. And it made sense. The 3 together pay out almost $30. I think it was $29. So it was more than enough for the gas money. And plus, now I can be in town to start moving people around again for the club.
Okay.
But anyways, when I was dropping off and taking the picture, there was another guy that was going to the next apartment over and he was scanning all of his whatchamacallit, they have these barcodes on to make sure you got the right order.
Right.
And he was making multiple scans, which meant he didn't know what the heck he's doing, because when it's a grocery order and they have a bunch of stickers on all the different bags, all you have to do is scan one and then say, I got the right order, continue on. But he was going on, and I was just asking him, I was curious if he got his order from the neighborhood grocery, Avenue B or 24th, whatever, or Pacific. And I just, being friendly, called out to him. He wouldn't answer me. And so I said, "Oh, hablas español?" I tried, and he wouldn't answer me. And very dark, curly hair. And I am not going to say 100%, but I think it must have been one of the Rahimi brothers or distant relatives. He would not answer me. He would not.
You think he understood you, but was snubbing you?
Why? I mean, unless you're just being a total asshole.
Might have been.
Pardon the French.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, we're not on the airwaves. I can
not yet. Now. I don't have a delay button yet, but I don't need it. Not yet.
Yeah, well, I the reason I'm mad is I think it was an import that doesn't have papers, and if he can get someone else's account to sign up, he's taken business from those of us that are working here. I don't think he was legal.
Well, that could probably happen.
Yeah, that's the only reason I can think of to not, say hello to a fellow, driver and whatnot. And it was you could tell he was new and not really knowing what he was doing. But anyways, that's my irritation.
All right,
for
buddy.
The bottom of the 8 o'clock hour. We'll see what you can bring up, taking us to the end.
I appreciate the call. Take care.
Bye.
That's Mad Mike running into illegals out there. Possibly.
Well, possibly. That's a
or maybe somebody just
stretch.
doesn't like him.
Yeah. He said, "Oh, that's the only reason I can think of." Well, the other one is.
Yeah, the other one is your personality.
You just don't like it.
Yeah, your personality. Yeah, that's that whole thing.
That's a possibility.
Let's call Ted. Ted,
all right.
Hey, Mr. Ted, what's up, man?
Need your help.
What's that?
I just heard some disturbing news about water restrictions that are going to possibly go into effect in the West here.
Right.
Yeah.
And Western Europe's on fire.
Yeah.
Right.
You heard anything about water restrictions?
Sure. Right now, because the water's so low in the Colorado and in the levees and all that kind of stuff and the reserves, the states involved, and there's 7 of them, usually get together and they make adjustments amongst themselves so that the federal government doesn't get involved. Well, they couldn't come to an agreement, so they got the federal government involved. The federal government put out a program according to the way some of the leases are written and all that kind of stuff. And it's going to pound Arizona more because we have contracts that are the newest contracts, not us in Yuma, but in the Phoenix area for the CAP, Central Arizona projects. They're kind of like the last in line getting water. So they're the first in line to lose water.
Right.
And they cover Phoenix and Tucson, a lot of it.
Right.
And them losing it will be big for Arizona, but for that area, not necessarily Yuma. Yuma has the oldest contracts. Now, that being said, on paper, it looks like it doesn't affect Yuma, but in reality, there's nothing wrong, nothing stopping them using a shovel at the top of them up there and diverting the water and taking it and saying, "Sue me."
Right.
Right.
Well, I know that they are after the Chinese for consuming so much water here, growing, I guess, alfalfa or something.
That has been, I think they stopped some of that in La Paz not too long ago. And I'm mixed on that. The whole theory behind people growing alfalfa here and shipping it to China or wherever they're shipping it is, well, that's like shipping the water out because that's for us. Well, it's not really, because they're using local vendors, local employees, local trucking companies, local everything. It's a business thing that they're helping us with. And all our farmers, all of them ship a percentage out.
Yeah.
Some of our citrus farmers ship out like 70%. Our date farmers ship out like 80%. Should we say
Oh, heck
nobody
yeah.
ships overseas ever again? That's agricultural based products.
No. I just like when I was working on some of the ag
Mhm.
areas down here.
Yeah.
I mean, they were flooding some fields, man. I mean, flooding them, not sprinklers, even though they
That's-
got that, but they were flooding fields
Yeah.
on the
Right.
crops.
Well, that's how they
That's
irrigate
why-
a lot of fields around
Yeah.
here is flood irrigation.
Right. Yeah, but don't you get a larger evaporation in the summertime?
I don't
don't
know.
know.
But I know that it's measured, it's watched very closely,
Yeah.
and our agriculture, tracks how much water is used and how much product is produced.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And we, like, over time, every year, we get more production from less water, like all
Yeah.
the time. If you look at the
heck yeah.
graphs, we're getting more and more production, less water, more and more, because
Right.
they only use what's absolutely necessary and good for them. And that's it. And if you don't flood irrigate in some areas, then you get the salts that rise and would destroy the
Right.
ground.
Right.
So they have to flood
Right.
irrigate some of it, and that doesn't mean they overuse, but they use the right amount through flood irrigation.
Right.
The-
Right.
the-
right.
you know, agriculture around here is big business and it's
And
big
scientific,
science.
yeah.
And they're
Well,
they're
I know
combining
that
the two
I know
to,
that they're
to do the best.
I know they're constantly using that new technology
Yeah.
to eliminate waste.
Yeah.
Whereas other places aren't doing it in the United States.
I would imagine
that-
shooting the water directly into the air might increase evaporation.
Like misting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Right. Right. Right.
So I think flooding.
Well,
might actually be
they have the new drones out here.
Yeah.
Between here and California, doing weed control and
Yeah.
stuff
But-
like that. I know they're doing it, but I just know that I've got a gold mine sitting in my backyard here of a pool. So anybody needs some
Only
water,
when it rains, man. That's it.
Bring,
Only,
bring a filter, and I'm selling it for $50 a pint.
okay. I can buy whiskey.
No, I
cheaper.
just yeah. My mother was just concerned because she had heard about the water restrictions, and I
Yeah.
said, well, I got a pool, so I'm not hurting that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But-
you'll be fine.
Okay.
Look, it's getting sketchy, because now is the point where it's going to be some serious cuts, and people got to start making some serious decisions, which they should have done 20 years ago.
Yep.
And that,
Well, yeah.
and that is desalination or more reservoirs, like in California particularly. But California doesn't participate as much as they want to, because they still take something off the Colorado. They say, look, it's free over here. Why should I build a
Right.
desalination plant?
Well, how being that the Colorado flows into Mexico, you think they'll try and sue us if we cut the water off to them?
There's a treaty with them right
Yeah.
now on how much goes in there.
Who
And
cares about treaties? Are meant to be broken, just like contracts.
oh, I forgot I'm
Come on,
talking to
man.
Ted. And we
Ask Donald Trump about contracts.
and we honor that, and we honor the treaties, and they measure that every day. They
Yep.
measure how much the flow is every day.
Yeah.
And believe me, we don't ship. We only ship what we're supposed to. And in fact, I think we owe them some water. They've held back on some of it, and that water never makes it to the ocean. That water is sucked dry before
Yep.
it ever gets there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I know. I'll trade. I'll also trade them 6 avocados for a pint of water. Is that a good deal?
I think for you,
I hope so. I'm not
Yeah.
doing it for their
If
benefit.
you're doing $50 a pint for the water, 6 avocados. Those are expensive avocados.
yeah.
And they taste good from Mexico.
There you go.
Yeah, you get it right from the cartels. I think cartels own all the avocado
I
business
think they
anymore.
do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. It's
they
getting
convince
rough.
people to give them the business.
If something goes here about restriction, how long do you think the local government will go before they start mentioning it, or they'll try? And
They'll mention it
fight as
right
long as
away.
they can?
They'll mention it right away. Right now, it's
Yeah,
proposals anyway. It's proposals. It's and of course the governor. Well, that's outrageous. We're not going to do that. Well, what choice do you have? I mean, if you put a straw in the cup and there's no water in it, I don't care. There's
Well, let me ask you this: in Arizona,
yeah,
as a whole,
yeah.
I'm not trying to kick anybody under the bus or anything, but what about golf courses that are not
Right.
That don't reclaim water? There's some golf courses now that have a system where what goes in the ground, it's excess, gets reused. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They're
A lot
kind
of them use
contained
reclaimed
system.
waters. Yeah, they use reclaimed water. A lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think
just see a lot. I see a lot of water flowing down the gutters around here at Yuma. I'm just
Golf-
curious about.
golf courses bring a lot of business. They do. I mean, they're a
Right,
business thing,
right.
but they also use as
I can't.
much water as a data center.
Right.
And we hate data centers because they use too much water. Why do we not hate golf courses?
But yeah, if the water does get restricted, people are going to have to change some of the ways they do things. And like I said earlier,
Yeah.
it's the people that make things work. We'll find a way to make it all work, one way or the other. And if golf courses have to go,
Well, where's all the
it's like-
people
and
that
they can
think,
go to fake grass for
It's-
the golf course.
Yeah, it's like some of the car washes have gone to that containment system where they
Mhm.
Yeah.
reclaim the water as they're using it.
yeah.
That was a pretty smart idea. I mean, but
There's a
No,
lot
I
of
was just
things
curious
still
if
that
you-
can be done.
right.
Right. We can stop
Yeah.
watering grass. I mean, a lot of the new developments are all use desert landscaping.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Right.
And fake
Yeah, that's what
grass
my friend-
has come a long ways.
It looks good.
It looks great. It feels good. You can
Yeah.
walk across it and wonder, is this
Yeah.
real grass?
Fake grass used to be so hot you couldn't walk on
Right.
it.
Well, and it was pokey, it was
Yeah,
stiff,
yeah,
and the new grass. I think there's going to be a big growth.
Did
sounds
Ted
like
hang
it
up
also-
on me?
I
You
don't
still
know.
there?
I think there's going to be a big growth in that industry
Hey,
as
Ted, did you
water
hang up?
becomes less usable.
Oh no, it was me.
You hung up.
It went to my watch all of a sudden.
Oh,
For some reason, how about now? You there?
there you
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. For some reason, my my watch took over my Bluetooth on my. Wow, that was weird. That's not nice.
Well, I'm hoping you're not being infiltrated like Sean and I were on our phone systems.
No,
Hopefully,
I don't.
I hope the DOJ has straightened that out and got our
Yeah,
whoever was doing it, the Hannity and I.
I don't think I'm
Straightened
on. I'm not on their list, buddy. I appreciate the call. Take care.
Hey,
What?
have a good day.
You too.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Take care, man.
That was Mr. Ted. I owe a call now to Carl.
Yeah, I saw Carl come in.
Carl called in.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from Carl in a couple days.
It's a long time.
Nah. he'll be all right. He normally calls me on Wednesday because he likes hump day. you know.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, Russ.
Hey, Carl. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing very good.
Well, I saw you call.
I had a little question. Last week you were talking about air conditioning in cars.
Yep.
Okay, well, in the 80s, the air conditioning in our cars, we had a little expansion valves,
Uh-huh.
and we had receivers on them. And so to put gas in the car, what you do is you put enough refrigerant that the bubbles quit going out of the side glass, so that tells it's full. So now the question I have, that was very simple to do, but now everything on the cars on the refrigeration is very, very critical.
Correct.
Is the system that much better?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, well, yes and no. Look, the old systems worked very well. They were bulletproof. And if it said, the amount of Freon was a little under, a little over, you could beat it up. It still worked great. But they were heavy. And
Yes.
they were bulletproof in a lot of respects, but they don't make them like that anymore.
No.
They're lighter now. They worry about the lighter, and they take a lot less Freon, like infinitely less Freon. And they're so sensitive now that it's off, a fraction of an ounce now, one way or the other, it's not going to work properly. So it's a very precise, very good. But I think the systems are good. I
Yeah.
do. But my older Chevy, it's a GMC, a 2007 GMC, is actually the best air conditioned vehicle we have on the lot. It's old, and it was overbuilt. They made it like to hang, meat in there or something. And
Correct.
but you can only fix them. You fix them to work the way they're intended. You can't make them colder. You can only make them the way they're intended. But no, I like the systems, and they are good. But right now, it's not unusual. I have a friend that lives in Florida that took her Honda 2015 Honda in because the air conditioner wasn't working. They got a quote for $4,500 to replace the system.
All right.
4,500. We didn't even pay that for cars, let alone an air conditioner. Now, in all seriousness, Chris looked at that and said, it's an expensive system, but he could do it. I mean, anybody walked in the door right now, he would have done it for like $2,500. Brand new, all new system. And a lot of times you can't just replace one or two component parts because if there's contamination that gets through the entire system, it's going to be in the evaporator, it's going to be in the compressor, it's going to be in the lines, it's going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
And if you don't replace the whole thing, it's going to work for a week or two and then break again, because the contamination is going to take it out again.
So using the vacuum pumps on them doesn't work anymore?
We still have to vacuum them down.
Yeah, you got to try it out.
The new systems they work exactly the same way.
Yep.
You've got to put a vacuum in there and take all the air out and then replace it. But now, rather than use, a little vacuum pump that you just, doing it a DIY or do it yourself guy, put a vacuum pump on it and then hook up your can of Freon and let it suck it in. It's more sophisticated than that.
Yeah.
There's scales and they regulate the amount of Freon that goes in there to very specifically. It's not sloppy anymore. You can't get away with it on the new ones.
Yeah.
You have to take it in and have a guy that has, and I have 4 air conditioning machines, 4. Because if one breaks, I'd be out of business if I didn't have backup is one of the problems. And there's 2 different types of Freon. There's the 134 and the 1234. And the 1234 is so expensive too, when it's more sophisticated. That machine, I think it's like $8,000 to buy the machine to fill up the to work on the air conditioners. You get to pay $8,000 for a machine.
All right.
And when it breaks, it costs nearly that much to fix it. It's
kind of
it just costs. It's expensive.
Yes. And back in the 80s, we just had the little vacuum pumps run on a 3rd horsepower motor.
Yep.
Yeah.
And sucked her down.
Yep.
And then we put in a kind of 50-cent can of Freon 12 and away we went.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not anymore. Not anymore. But I've known there's been systems out there that are 15, 20 years old and have never needed any maintenance.
Right.
They don't need a refresher. They don't need anything. And you just don't crack that system open. You leave it. If it runs 20 years, 30 years, you let it run.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I can also go back and say, back in the 70s and 80s, when we wanted to go to Phoenix, we had to have 2 gas tanks on our truck to make sure we get there.
Yeah.
And now we're driving the little Hyundai Elantras. You can go all the way to Phoenix and all the way home on the tank of gas because I'm getting 43 miles per gallon.
Yeah, and your tank's only like 14-gallon tank. Right.
Yeah.
Very efficient.
Well, I don't know how much it holds because when my needle gets to just before a quarter tank, I drop myself down to the Chevron gas station and fill it up.
You're smart.
So
yeah, you don't want your tanks to get low because the pump is in the gas tank. Right. The fuel pump's in the gas tank. And it stays cool by being submerged, believe it or not, in gas. That's what keeps it cool.
No.
So if your gas runs real low, a lot of that pump's not submerged. It's going to get hot and it just wears out a lot faster or breaks right there.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And I always use Chevron gas in mine because a little product they call Texerline or whatever it is, and it helps keep the injectors clean. So
I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
I'd find, but modern gas has everything it needs. Used to be you'd want to buy a lot of additives to put in it. The additives are already there at the pump. You don't need to do all that stuff anymore like you used to.
It's all.
But if you like
all
Chevron,
a bunch of used to be.
Nope, it's better.
Well,
it's just more expensive. Just better take your wallet.
Well, but I drive a Hyundai Elantra where the fuel the costing $4.15 for a gallon of gas doesn't bother me a bit.
Yeah.
Now if I drive my diesel truck that I used to have, it would bother me a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. You needed a gallon to start it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand.
But the cars are so efficient today.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
we're very fortunate.
Appreciate the
But
call. my friend.
anyway,
Thank you, sir.
just have a very good day. And this is Thursday, isn't it?
It
Yes,
is
it
Thursday.
is.
You missed hump day.
Yeah. Well, at least I didn't miss the day. I was still on this side of the turf. So
I got worried about you. Take care, man. Bye.
okay, bye.
Mr.
Bye.
Carl. And I've been over talking to the Hyundai. Hyundai said they want to be a part of the radio when we go live. So
Oh, yeah?
we're putting together some
That's cool.
programs for them.
Get
Hopefully
some
they are.
sponsorship.
My daughter just bought a Hyundai
Oh, yeah?
last week. It was
I don't pronounce it that way.
what do you say?
Hyundai.
You could do that if you
Probably
want.
a little racist, but
Yeah, we'll do
yeah,
that.
it's more fun to say
Yeah.
it that
We'll
way.
get you on here to do the commercial. She bought the most expensive Hyundai on the entire lot. I think.
Really?
Yeah, the Palisade is their top end.
Ooh, that sounds fancy.
And she bought the fanciest top end as there was, and all that stuff. Which a car, it's just wonderful. I would drive the car. She just won't let me. Let's take flight. Mike, good morning.
Hey, good morning, sir.
Yeah.
I was watching the campaign of Nixon when he made his comeback, and you know how he got the Southern vote. You remember that?
I remember his comeback and all that. I think he won all but one state or something, but yeah.
But the big thing is that he was able to get the Southern vote, the Southern Democrats.
Right.
And it dawned on me that there's a correlation to that motivation of the mindset of the Democrat Party, who left the Democrat Party to vote for Republican, and the thing that's going on today.
Okay.
And it was just a natural proclivity of American humanity to shun immorality, because the Democrat Party at that time was promoting gays and same-sex marriage, and that was the big deal at the time.
You're when Nixon ran the second time, like in the 70s?
He wasn't.
Yes.
The 70s, was it? Yeah, he was.
The Democrat Party that's when they started promoting all this woke. It's really when it started, and that's why he was able to get them. And of course, then you still had Wallace that split the vote, just like Perot split the vote with Bush,
Right.
Clinton. You know, if you didn't have Perot, the Clintons would be nothing more than trailer trash grease stain on the highway. If you didn't have Rush Perot.
I agree. Ross Perot really drug a lot of votes away from the Republicans. Sure.
The correlation is this: the Christian mentality of the South didn't want to put up with that, so they left the Democrat Party and voted with the ideals of the Republican Party. That's the same thing that's happening today. The Democrat Party is splitting, but really the Democrat Party, you say, I have Democrat friends. Well, there's still a good part of Democrats. Oh, but I'm the one saying that now, because they are shunning communism.
Right.
We don't tolerate communism. And the thing that really ticks me off, and I don't have much time, I want the people to think, I want you to think, sir.
What's that?
The Republican Party made a great mistake, and I will never let them get away with it. In opening the door in the 7th district and opening the door in New York City without a fight. And what happened was, you empowered this damn communism crap from the Democrat Party because they thought they won in New York, and they thought they won in 7th district, but they really didn't, because the Republican Party didn't fight, and that vacuum allowed that to win. And therefore they thought now is the time to pull the lever. I guarantee you, if Mandami would not have won, and the Republican Party would have chose a more valid candidate than whoever that guy was with the beret, or at least backed him,
Curtis.
you wouldn't have
Yeah.
Yes.
He got
You
like
wouldn't
7%. Yeah.
What?
He got 7% of the vote.
He got 7% of 11%, sir. 11% of New York. showed up.
11% was the turnout. Okay. Got you. Okay.
He got 7% of 11%. That means something, doesn't it?
Sure. Means it was a low
Okay,
turnout.
then.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a low turnout, but if the Republican Party would have energized, maybe more people would have showed up to defeat that guy. And if that guy being defeated would have at least diluted this Democrat march toward communism. Don't you think so?
I know what you're saying. You're saying the Republican Party should have thrown what, $100 million to.
They should have put up a fight, sir.
Okay.
Don't get goofy here. They should have.
I'm not goofy. I'm thinking, what would it have taken? What would it have taken to
Because-
get Curtis? I don't think that Curtis could have been propped up. I think we would have needed a
Well, the
new
other thing
candidate.
too is the Republican Party could have put a better person in there.
Correct. I think so. I think they
Okay.
could have, but I don't know who that
A
would have
better
been.
person and backing would have defeated the communist guy Mandami.
Yeah.
I mean, look, New York didn't even like that guy.
No.
New York is looking to lynch that guy right now.
Well, now, yeah, but
No, sir, because nobody was energized because the Republican Party failed to do their job. Well, okay, you think the way you want to think, but I'll tell you what, the Republican Party is dead.
Mike, the only thing I disagree with you on, and a couple things. One, the party's not dead. There's more registered Republicans in the country, more registered Republicans in the state of Arizona than the Democrats, for sure.
Register. They
Pardon?
register the R, not the Republican Party.
I understand. Okay, yeah, they're
there's
registered
no
R.
place to go. But I will tell you what, whether Trump wins or loses in the midterms, there's the Republican Party is going away.
I don't agree with that.
2008, the Republican Party is already maneuvering to defeat Trump in 2008.
Of course, because that's what parties do. They do that. I mean, there's going to be other candidates coming forward says I can do a better job than Trump. That's part of our system.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you guys don't. I don't think you understand really the magnification the magnification of the 7th district in New York. I really don't.
No, I
really don't.
think it's important. Everybody does. I mean, it's highlighted that we've got a socialist running in New York City or running New York City. Yeah.
Whether we prevail in the midterms or not, there's only going to be two parties in this country, and that's mega and not mega. Unfortunately, and what Matt Gaetz, and I'll tell you with Andy Biggs was part of the America First.
Right.
What America First, it was a small handful of the true Republicans. What they proved is that the Republican Party was 2/4 rhino and 1/4 true Republicans, which was America First. And
of course, the term rhino is going to be subjective based on who's looking at it and say, well, you're a rhino, Republican in name only.
Say what you want to say, sir.
It is what I want to say. Absolutely.
It is. But it is what it is. The Republican Party is going away. You are either mega or you are not mega. You are either mega or you're a rhino and the Democrat Party. That's the new party. The rhinos and the Democrats.
Okay. I mean, that's your opinion. I respect it. It's fine.
But I got, the thing about it is the reason why you have the Democrat Party is because the Republican Party let them get away with it. I'll tell you, things that are going on right now and the good things that are happening, the Republicans knew about it. Everything that the Democrats are being accused of today, the Republicans knew about it and did nothing. People know that. A majority of the people know that. I'm going to say another thing.
Okay, go
Trump
ahead.
is making a big mistake right now.
What?
Trump is making a big mistake right now. He's got the foreign policy right now, which is excellent. But the domestic policy, if he does not arrest Fauci, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi and those people go scot-free, I'm telling you, even Trump is going to lose.
Well,
Even Trump is going to. There's no reason why those people should be walking the earth right now. You have Nancy Pelosi condemning Trump yesterday.
Yes, she did, and you can do that in this country.
Yeah.
That's not something we're going to arrest people over.
Russ, you can also win in this country, and that's the problem. With
And
the
you think
Republicans
Republicans do nothing, and yet we're the majority in the House, majority in the Senate, and in there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. What has the Republican Party done?
You mean other than close the border or control inflation?
That's Trump. That's Trump, sir.
Well,
That's
but
not
you
the
know,
Republican
Trump is
Party.
the Republican Party right now. MAGA is the Republican Party right now. That's
no,
it.
No, it's not. That's where you people make your mistake.
You people.
And you're and you're gonna find out after the midterms, because after the midterms, win or lose, nobody cares anymore.
I disagree with you, Mike, and I appreciate your viewpoint, but I disagree. I think always more can be done. I think always more can be done. You know, whether or not it's been enough, and whether we could have stopped Mandami.
That's a pretty good mantra. That's a pretty good war crime. Here's the counter to that.
What's that?
Always more could be done. How about doing something?
Well, you know, and your thought process that nothing is being done at all is just so off the mark. It's crazy.
You know, even with Trump right now, there is no reason.
Yes,
no reason gasoline should be the price it is.
You're wrong. Actually, the predictions was it would be more like $8-9 a gallon, and he's been able to keep it down. And I think that's Trump being Trump and understanding the markets.
Yeah. That's a propaganda article you read there.
No, it's not. That was the left trying to destroy Trump for sure, but it was realistic. Yeah, they thought it would be much worse than it is.
So the question comes down to, and I think people are forgotten.
What
is the price in Arizona of gasoline because Newsom closed all those refineries?
No.
Or is the price? Oh, yes, it is.
No.
Oh, yes, it is. It's not because of the Strait of Hormuz. It's because we're dependent on California.
Correct. And right now we're still getting some from California because Trump wouldn't let them close it.
But here's the other thing too, sir.
Yeah. What?
You say that we have the majority Republicans in the House and Senate and state of Arizona.
Right. Yes.
Why are we still getting why are we still dependent on California?
Why? Because we haven't built a refinery yet, although there is one.
And why haven't we done that? We had two Republican
because
governors.
We're
16
stupid.
years.
Yes.
You know what we have?
What?
We have a circle drive.
Yeah.
We have a circle drive.
What's a circle drive? You mean a roundabout?
A roundabout, what the hell ever that's called.
That saves we It's good. Hey, I'm running out of time, Mike, but I do appreciate the call.
My prediction, just like I told you, that we were going to lose in 7th district, is that after the midterms, the Republican Party is going away.
All right, I'll write it down. Thank you, sir. Take care. Bye bye. As Mr. Mike, he's very hard on the Republican Party. I think he wants the Republican Party to do better.
Well,
but
we can always do that.
He's going
like you said.
Smack him around.
I don't think the Republican.
Believe me, we're not the only one fighting for a direction. The Democrats are fighting for a direction too.
I do think that Mamdani winning as a socialist is a turning point, and
I don't think good or bad for Republicans.
Well, we don't want to get complacent and
no,
think,
we don't.
Walk in.
But I think it exposes some things that there really is a problem. That there really is something could happen very negative, and I think it motivates people like maybe we should vote.
And and it has brought the spotlight on the possibility of socialist movement in the United States growing. And I think it has encouraged the socialist movement to
that's true. It's encouraged the guys to where they expose themselves now. People are coming out and saying, I am a proud socialist and here's what I stand for. And there's some people out there applauding, but most of them are looking at it like a horror show.
Well,
like, oh my God, this is real.
What they stand for is ridiculous. So, hopefully that will kill the movement just as quickly.
It's a double-edged sword. You're exactly right, man. Appreciate you coming in. I'm out of time, even though Gilbert's been
show.
calling. I got to
Yeah.
run.
We heard you, Gilbert, but
And
somebody else was calling every
couldn't-
time you
couldn't-
called.
Couldn't
so.
get to it. I'll be back tomorrow. Russ Clark with Mortgage One.
Well, woo! That was